Women are celestial beings with ninth-grade talents. But you, who only have a second-grade talent, rely on the power of your family to force her to marry you. If she doesn't agree, she will harm her sis. For her brother's safety, she could only force herself to agree. But just when she thought you were such a loser, on your wedding day, you used your chaos double pupils to crush everyone with your invincibility. Until then she realized that you have been pretending. It's not impossible to marry you, but she doesn't know that your chaos double pupils were acquired because of her. Just 3 days ago, you were sleeping on a horse in an alley when you suddenly woke up to the sign-in system. The first mission is to marry Mu Qingxue, the goddess of the Mu family with 9th grade talent. Completion will reward you with ancient double pupil. You looked at the system's rewards and instantly became excited. You must know that chaos double pupils are the way to invincibility. You rush home immediately. I can't even take care of the girl I just ordered. Then I went to the hall and explained the situation to your father. He looked at you in disbelief. You said you were going to get married. Or with Mu Qingxue, the goddess of the Mu family. Do you know that she is a gifted girl with 9th grade talent? Are you crazy or dizzy? Do people like you with your second-class talent? You said calmly, "Can't I?" Lin Fan stares at you for a while. Then he looked at you and asked seriously, "You are serious?" Seeing this, you also showed a loving expression. Absolutely true. I saw her on the street that day and fell in love with her. So I will not marry anyone but her in this life. Although I am only a second-grade talent. But the other party is of the 9th rank. If I marry her, I can improve the bloodline of our Lin family. Can also benefit future generations. After hearing this, Lin Fan thought for a while and finally agreed. Since you have feelings for her, then tomorrow I'll ask your second uncle to go with you to propose marriage. When you heard this, a look of joy appeared on your face. Thank you, father, for your help. I will give you a few more fat grandchildren in the future so that you can become a grandfather sooner. Once this was said, Lin Fan's head was full of black lines instantly. He doesn't want to take care of the child so early. Good. Since you are getting married, then go to brothels less often, ruining the reputation of our Lin family. What do you know, old man? That's called cultivating one's sentiments. Romantic men like us should go to brothels to listen to music and enrich our mood. Okay? The next morning, outside the Mu mansion, you look at the huge archway on the gate. Praise. It is indeed the residence of President Mu, so magnificent. However, the 2 servants guarding the Mu family's gate trembled when they saw you. It's like seeing the devil. An older servant whispered to the person next to him, "Go tell the owner." After hearing this, the man quickly ran to the Mu family hall. Soon the news of your arrival spread throughout the Mu family. For a moment, the Mu family was in a panic. Seeing this, you can't help but feel black lines on your head. Is this young master so scary? The remaining servants said respectfully, "Sir, this way please." When you enter the Mu family, you see Mu Qingxue. At this moment, she is wearing a white fairy dress with exquisite facial features, as if it was carefully carved by God. The figure is perfect to the extreme. The exquisite lines make you feel excited, even though you have seen many stunning things. But it's rare to find someone as perfect as Mu Qingxue. Soon Mu Qingxue disappeared. You reacted quickly in the brief moment of distraction. Mu Zichen asked tentatively, "I don't know why you came here today." I said slowly, "I have a request from my father." The entire Mu family was shocked when this was said. The hall suddenly became silent. Moonlight Lotus Mansion actually has something to ask for. The Lord of Moonlight Lotus Mansion is one of the most powerful people of the time. The youngest quasi-saint legendary figure. Mu Zichen trembled all over. He stood up and said respectfully, "Sir, please tell me what we can do. Even if it takes all the strength of the whole clan, you still take your time," tapping the wooden table with your fingers. Lin Wentian beside him saw this. He immediately understood what I meant and said, "We are here to propose marriage to your daughter." As soon as these words came out, the hall fell into silence. Moonlight Lotus Mansion actually wants to propose marriage to our Mu family. You're not proposing to that person, are you? Wait until they react. The whole Mu family erupted in an uproar. Everyone stared with eyes wide open in disbelief and speculated. Sure enough, Mu Zichen's face darkened instantly after hearing this. He naturally understands that the only person worthy of your coming here in person to propose marriage is Mu Qingxue. However, Mu Zichen still asked with some hope. There are many outstanding women in the Mu family. I don't know which one the young master has taken a fancy to. I immediately called her over so that the young master could find a good match. You said excitedly, I'm attracted to your daughter. The young master has such good taste that he actually fell in love with my daughter. But my little sister is still young. I'm afraid that in many aspects you will not be satisfied. You interrupt Mu Zichen again. Not Mu Shu's sister, but her sister Mu Qingxue. Hearing this, everyone in the Mu family fell silent. Then you directly said, Master Su, you can call Mu Qingxue now. Although the two spoke quietly, but in such a quiet environment, the people next to me could still hear it clearly. Soon the elders of the Mu family became restless. He whispered to Mu Zichen beside him. The patriarch cannot agree to him. The goddess is the most important thing in our Mu family. She cannot marry outside the family. The reaction of the people below was even more intense. Mu Zichen's face was also very ugly. At this moment, there was a young man with a resolute face below. After hearing what you said, I clenched my fists and looked at you with murderous intent. You dare to catch my woman's attention. It seems you have a way to die. This person is Mu Lingyun, the son of destiny. Originally, Mu Lingyun was a side disciple of the Mu family with average talent. But one day it seemed as if I woke up. His cultivation level improved by leaps and bounds and he became a genius disciple. What others don't know is the ring he wore on his hand. There is a powerful soul inside. This is also his biggest secret. At this moment, an ancient voice came from Mu Lingyun's mind. Mu Qingxue's ice phoenix body will be of great help to you. If I can take her down and practice dual cultivation with her, your natural fighting energy is stimulated faster. This is a great opportunity. Hearing this, Mu Lingyun nodded excitedly and replied, Master, rest assured, Mu Qingxue is my woman. I will never let this dandy disciple get involved. Soon Mu Lingyun disappeared in the crowd. At this moment, the head of the family, Mu Zichen, who was sitting in the main seat without saying a word, slowly said, Since the young master has taken a fancy to my goddess, this is really the blessing that the Mu family has cultivated for thousands of years. But marriage is very important. Why don't you get to know each other first? There is no rush to discuss marriage after exchanging feelings. After saying that, I looked at you expectantly. You also understand what Mu Zichen means. Is this to make you give up after meeting Mu Qingxue? Well then, let's stop thinking about it. Just as he was about to say something, a pleasant voice came from above. Dad, bring him here. Mu Zichen was a little surprised. I didn't expect that my daughter had been listening to the conversation here. Then he prayed secretly in his heart. My daughter, it is up to you whether you can make him give up. If you can't, I'm afraid even your father can't protect you. Mu Zichen came back to his senses and said respectfully, Sir, please come this way. You stood up and followed Mu Zichen out of here. Seeing that my second uncle wanted to follow me but you refused. I don't want a light bulb watching me. Lin Wentian saw this and shouted coldly to the people behind him. You better not do anything stupid. If Chen Heir suffers any loss, your Mu family cannot bear the wrath of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Then a tremendous pressure burst out from his body. Everyone's face changed and their bodies trembled. Their pupils were filled with fear. This is definitely a top-level strongman. They didn't expect that this weak scholar holding a book could have such a terrifying cultivation level. Is this Moonlight Lotus Mansion? In the attic, Mu Qingxue's delicate face showed some complex. I didn't expect that the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion would come to propose marriage in person. She was aware of what happened below. After showing his talent since childhood, many noble families came to propose marriage. However, due to the court and my father's face, I can refuse. But the one who came to propose marriage this time was Moonlight Lotus Mansion. At the same time, she had a doubt in her mind. That's why you want to marry her. Obviously, the two have never met. Before she could think about it, there was a knock on the door. Mu Zichen outside the door said cautiously, "Mr. Liar is here." Immediately, a clear and pleasant voice sounded, "Let him in." After hearing this, Mu Zichen gave you a smile that was uglier than crying. Then he looked at you bitterly and said, "Sir, please go in." You just pushed the door open. On the way here, I saw a woman who looked a bit like Mu Qingxue, but a little immature. She seems to be only 14 or 15 years old. When passing by, he looked at me with curious eyes. That must be Mu Qingxue's biological sister, Su Yao. Although she is young, she is still a beauty. After entering, you looked around the house curiously. This is the first time I have entered a girl's bedroom. Mu Qingxue's room is very simple. There is a wooden mirror on the table. There are some cosmetics, nothing else. You nodded and were satisfied with this layout. Soon, as we walked through a long corridor, a girl slowly appeared. I saw a pair of white and delicate jade feet wrapped in white silk. Based on my many years of experience, these legs are absolutely perfect. The white silk is crystal clear and smooth, and the silk used is obviously the best material. It must feel good. A cold but pleasant voice sounded. Have you seen enough? You look up and see a breathtakingly beautiful face staring at you coldly. Mu Qingxue folded her arms. The silver hair behind is extremely beautiful, wearing a glass fairy dress. The whole person is ethereal, noble and cool temperament. It makes people want to stop, like a lotus in the snow. If there is only one disadvantage, she's too cold. Due to the physical condition, there is a biting chill. The closer you get, the more obvious it becomes. Seeing this scene, you didn't beat around the bush. I said it very frankly. Not enough. Can I watch it for a while? Mu Qingxue didn't expect you to be so direct. This made her feel a little overwhelmed for a while. After a long silence, she spoke. You said you wanted to marry me. You answered firmly. That's right. Mu Qingxue on the other side was so sure. He answered without showing any expression. Slowly speaking, "My dear, I have made up my mind to pursue the great path in my life. As for things like love between children, I have never thought about it. Sir, you should take back your words and find another good partner." After she finished speaking, she looked at you nervously. "Seems afraid you'll get angry." You didn't get angry, just said slowly, "Really, everyone has their own pursuits, I understand. Your reason seems to be perfect." Seeing that Lin Fan was not angry but also said such words, Mu Qingxue's eyes couldn't help but show a hint of gratitude. At the same time, he also looked at Lin Fan with a new respect. He didn't expect him to be such a reasonable person. It seems that the rumors in the imperial capital are somewhat false. Thinking of this, she looked at Lin Fan again, and a smile appeared on her delicate face. This kind of appearance is not bad. If his qualifications were not so bad, maybe he would pursue me, and my former self might be tempted. But now she has matured. Moreover, with her talent, she will not be limited to the Great Zhou, nor will she entrust her life here. But it doesn't matter. If the other party forces me, I'm afraid the court will help me. However, this does not mean that I agree with you. So, are you rejecting Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Just as Mu Qingxue was thinking, Lin Fan spoke. His smile was bright, as if bathed in the spring breeze. My understanding does not mean that I agree. The inequality is immediately resolved. Sure enough, after Mu Qingxue heard this, the smile on her face froze, as if she felt she had heard it wrongly. What did you say? I said that I understand you, but that doesn't mean I agree. So, are you rejecting Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Lin Fan walked up to her, pinched her fair chin, and spoke word by word. When Mu Qingxue saw this, a hint of anger appeared in her ice-blue eyes. She then shook off Lin Fan's hand and took out a jade sword, pointing it at his neck. You dare to molest me? Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? She said coldly. Kill me? Do you dare? Seeing this, Lin Fan smiled indifferently, and even deliberately moved closer to let the tip of the sword pierce his skin. If you kill me, the entire Mu family will be buried with me. At that time, You will be the sinner of the Mu family. You! Seeing that the magic sword was about to pierce his neck and even had blood appearing, Mu Qingxue became a little angry, but she finally compromised, put down the sword, and looked at him coldly. She really wanted to stab him to death with a sword, but unfortunately she couldn't. Oh yes, you can also say that you are gifted and the court will protect you, but will they really offend the Moonlight Lotus Mansion for a fledgling genius? Besides, your last name is Su, not Zhou. Lin Fan said slowly, shattering her last bit of hope. His eyes became more ruthless as he looked down at her from above. After Mu Qingxue heard this, her face was filled with shock. She didn't expect that the other party had guessed it. With such intelligence and cunning, is he really a simple dandy? I'm afraid the world has been deceived by him. A trace of fear flashed across Mu Qingxue's beautiful eyes, and a little fear appeared in her heart. She couldn't see through Lin Fan at all. Isn't your Mu family's greatest support your father Mu Zichen? If he loses his position as president, I'm afraid your Mu family will be doomed. Although my Moonlight Lotus Mansion is not big, it is only a matter of words for my father to handle these things. You don't want your father to lose his position as a minister because of this, do you? He. Lin Fan whispered in her ear like a devil. After Mu Qingxue heard this, her pretty face turned pale instantly. Her beautiful eyes lost their luster. Her eye sockets were actually a little red, and she looked desperate, as if she had been played to pieces. Seeing this pitiful look, Lin Fan also revealed a meaningful smile and continued. When I came here just now, I saw a girl who looked a bit like you, but she was a little younger and suitable to be a child bride. That should be your sister, Suyao. If you don't want to marry me, it's not impossible to replace her. As soon as she finished speaking, Mu Qingxue's cultivation exploded. Her silver hair fluttered behind her, emitting endless coldness. The entire ground began to frost. There was a hint of murderous intent in her beautiful eyes. She raised her sword and said through gritted teeth, "If you ruin her, I will definitely kill you." Lin Fan, who was standing by, was directly knocked several meters away by such force, and a sweet blood unconsciously flowed into his throat. So this is her weak spot. Lin Fan smiled miserably and swallowed the blood that was rushing up. In order to get this information, it almost cost him his life, but fortunately, everything was as expected. Looking at Mu Qingxue, who was still running wild, he said softly, "Of course, this is only based on the situation that you don't agree. If you marry me, I will naturally not do anything to your sister." After Mu Qingxue heard this, the coldness in her eyes faded a lot, but she still looked at him warily. "I promise to marry you." She was unable to say it and stammered. After hearing this, Lin Fan nodded in satisfaction and said, "That's right. Marrying me will be of great benefit to you and even to your entire Mu family." Benefits? Lin Fan, I warn you, if you have any ideas about my sister, I will kill you even if I die. Mu Qingxue frowned and warned, his eyes still full of coldness. I, Lin Fan, always keep my word and do what I say, so you can rest assured. Lin Fan said with a smile. Mu Qingxue remained silent, and her expression finally relaxed a little. "Come on. Follow me down and tell your people." Lin Fan turned around, walked slowly and leisurely, and then left. Looking at the leisurely figure walking in the garden, Mu Qingxue's delicate face showed a complicated expression, but after some thought, she still followed. It's Lin Fan. Why did he come down alone? Could it be that he was rejected? I was wondering why a goddess would fall in love with such a playboy. What a clown! If this gets out, I'm afraid the whole imperial capital will be laughing again tomorrow. When the members of the Mu family saw Lin Fan coming down, they began to talk in a low voice, their eyes full of sarcasm. Mu Zichen also secretly breathed a sigh of relief, with some relief in his eyes. Failed? Looks like we have to use force. Lin Wentian nodded thoughtfully, as if he had expected it. And in the next moment, they saw that beautiful figure appear. Their eyes were a little dull. How is that possible? This has to be fake. So what if he comes down? The goddess will definitely not agree to marry him. After a brief silence, the Mu family disciples looked shocked, but still couldn't believe it. Mu Zichen's eyes widened even more, and then, as if he thought of something, his eyes were filled with guilt, and he didn't dare to look directly at Mu Qingxue. Lin Wentian smiled, somewhat surprised. It seems that my nephew is quite capable. Father, I have agreed to marry him, Mu Qingxue said directly, with a hint of depression in her beautiful eyes. This cold and pleasant voice resounded throughout the hall. After hearing it clearly, the smiles of these Mu family disciples froze and their pupils shrank slightly. In an instant, the entire Mu family fell silent. Mu Zichen stood a little unsteadily, his eyes a little dazed. I don't agree. Just then, a voice came from outside the door. Everyone looked up and saw Mu Lingyun and a group of people rushing over. Mu Lingyun looked anxious, but he was relieved when he saw that he was not late. Mu Lingyun, how could it be him? Is he going to go against Lin Fan? Great! You are worthy of being the second talent of our Mu family. This is the momentum that our Mu family should have. After seeing this, everyone was also very shocked and began to talk about it. When Mu Qingxue heard this, there was some surprise in her beautiful eyes. It was him? She couldn't help but feel a little fond of him. She had some understanding of Mu Lingyun. Born in a side branch, he originally had mediocre talent, but he suddenly emerged in recent years and defeated many geniuses. Mu Lingyun often wanted to discuss the Tao with her and explore issues related to cultivation, but she was busy with her cultivation and had no time to discuss the Tao, so she refused every time. However, if he relied on himself alone, there would be no hope for him to defeat the huge Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Thinking of this, Mu Qingxue's eyes darkened again. Lin Fan had a calm expression, dressed in white with an extremely elegant temperament. He sat on the purple gold chair, lowered his head and took a sip of tea, as if nothing had happened. Mr. Wang, it's up to you later, Mu Lingyun said to the old man beside him. I saw an old man standing next to me. He was wearing a golden robe. Although his hair was all white, he was full of vitality and was obviously a strong man. Don't worry, I'll take care of this matter. The old man patted his chest and said with a confident look on his face. Yes, Brother Outyen, don't worry. My grandfather has some prestige in the imperial capital and will definitely help you get justice. At this time, a beautiful girl next to him spoke. Her face was beautiful and pure, and her voice was very crisp. Well, Yuxuan, I believe you. Mu Lingyun breathed a sigh of relief and looked at the girl beside him. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan looked a little shy. Mu Lingyun looked at the stunningly beautiful Mu Qingxue above him, with the admiration in his eyes revealed without any concealment, and when he turned to look at Lin Fan, his eyes were cold. Today, as long as I and Mu Lingyun are here, you, a playboy disciple, will never be able to marry Mu Qingxue. Just a year ago, he accidentally rescued an old man in a secret realm. Unexpectedly, this old man turned out to be the distinguished old man of the Wang family in the imperial capital. Since then, he has been treated as a distinguished guest by the Wang family. At this time, more and more people recognized the people around him. Look, does that look like the one from the Wang family? After hearing this, combined with what Mu Lingyun had just said, these people looked at each other and guessed something. The long-missing old man of the Wang family, a veteran strong man in the Purple Mansion realm. Then the woman next to Mu Lingyun, isn't she the little princess of the Wang family, the natural spirit Wang Yuxuan? Mu Lingyun actually got to know these people. The fate of the goddess today is uncertain. That's right. How can a dissolute disciple like Lin Fan be worthy of marrying our goddess? If he wants to marry someone, he should marry a genius like Mu Lingyun. Soon, everyone looked shocked and supported Mu Lingyun, speaking one after another. Mu Zichen, who had been silent for a long time, spoke up after weighing his options. How dare you? As a side disciple, do you want to go against the family? He stood up and said angrily. His hair and beard were all shocked. This kid is so stupid. How can the Wang family, a first-rate force, possibly rival the Moonlight Lotus Mansion? His behavior is tantamount to bringing hatred to the Mu family. The goddess marriage is the decision of the Mu family, and it is also the goddess's own decision. Do you think you can stop it by bringing some people here? He continued angrily, his eyes locked on Mu Lingyun. He wanted Mu Lingyun to retreat and not get involved in this mess. After all, the things here were not something these people could decide. Mu Lingyun was stunned by these roars for a moment and stood there in a daze. Lin Fan watched this scene with great interest. No one present reacted, but seeing the head of the family so angry, no one dared to say anything. Master, Lin Fan is an unforgivable playboy in the imperial capital. How can you marry such an outstanding goddess to him? Wouldn't that ruin the goddess' future? Mu Lingyun was puzzled and spoke word by word while suppressing his anger. I didn't expect that this old guy would be so ungrateful. If he gets Mu Qingxue in the future, he will definitely grind him to ashes. Thinking of this, a hint of gloom flashed across his eyes. You are just a yellow-haired boy, and you dare to teach me how to do things? Get out of here. Mu Zichen was furious, and then he burst out with his power, blowing out a gust of wind, trying to blow Mu Lingyun away. How stupid! How could such a person be the genius of my Mu family? He has no sense of the overall situation at all. Thinking of this, his cultivation exploded even more, and his eyes showed some disappointment. At this moment, Old Wang took action. He frowned and waved his hand to dissipate the force. I am so disappointed. Lao Sud, I didn't expect you to become so selfish that you can't even protect your own daughter. You are really not worthy of being a father. Mr. Wang shook his head and spoke. Then he turned to look at Mu Lingyun and comforted him. It's okay. I'll take care of this matter today, and I will definitely not let you down. After Mu Zichen heard this, he felt very bitter, but he still looked angry on the surface. You are right, I am indeed not worthy of being a father, but facing an existence like the Moonlight Lotus Mansion, I am afraid no one can resist it. Your Excellency is also from the imperial capital family, so you should know the consequences of interfering in the Mu family's affairs without permission. Mu Zichen warned, his aura confronting that of the Mu family head-on, without giving in at all. He is also a powerful man in the Purple Mansion realm, so he is naturally not afraid of Old Wang. However, since Old Wang dared to come here, he must have other reasons. Consequences? I'm not afraid. Today, I will take care of what happened to little friend Outyin. Who dares to stop me? Suddenly, an even more powerful aura burst out from him, directly overwhelming Mu Zichen, and even the yard shook slightly. Mu Zichen's face changed and he seemed very shocked. You actually broke through to the great power realm? He asked in disbelief. When these words were spoken, everyone's pupils shrank slightly, as if they had heard it wrongly. He turned out to be a powerful being. In the territory of Great Zhou, Zifu can establish a sect and become a local overlord, while a powerful being can be called respected and is an invincible existence when there are very few saints. That's right. This is all thanks to little friend Outyin. If it weren't for him, I'm afraid I wouldn't have any hope of breaking through to the great power in this life. Old Wang stroked his beard and sighed, looking at Mu Lingyun with eyes full of gratitude. Seeing this, Mu Lingyun also started to sneer. What do you think, old man? Do you think you can stop me? After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan, who was standing by, also had a smile in her eyes. You! Mu Zichen frowned after hearing this. He was really angry. I didn't expect that this guy not only didn't know the big picture, but was also so arrogant. That's enough. Stop making trouble in my Mu family. I have already agreed to marry Lin Fan. This is my own decision. It has nothing to do with my family and my father. This farce should stop. At this moment, Mu Qingxue suddenly spoke, her brows slightly furrowed, and her cold voice echoed throughout the hall. I don't believe it. He must have threatened you, right? Mu Lingyun clenched his fists, looking at the white figure that looked like a banished immortal, and asked angrily, what does it have to do with you? Mu Qingxue's good impression of him suddenly dropped to freezing point. How could this man be so ungrateful? Not only did he not understand his father's code words, he also insulted her father. Moreover, the look in his eyes when he looked at her was full of vulgarity. He was even worse than Lin Fan. After Mu Lingyun heard this, he also looked at Lin Fan. Lin Fan, are you still not a man? Do you dare to do it but not to take responsibility for it? At this moment, everyone's eyes were looking at that figure. So what if it is? So what if it isn't? Lin Fan chuckled, his expression indifferent, his eyes looking superior, with an innate aura of a superior. Just now, he had learned through the system prompt that this person was the child of destiny. You are a useless person with second-grade qualifications. Do you dare to fight with me? I can descend to the same realm as you and fight with you. After hearing this, Mu Lingyun said again, releasing the aura of the Linghai realm from his body. When everyone felt it, they were also shocked and some couldn't believe it. He actually broke through to the spiritual sea realm, the same realm as the goddess. Looking at their expressions, Mu Lingyun felt a little proud. You ants, do you know what a genius is? Then, he looked at Lin Fan. He was sure that the other party would accept it. Soon, he would slap him hard in the face for pretending to be so arrogant. Even he was a little jealous of Lin Fan's appearance and temperament. He swore that he would severely humiliate him, make him kneel on the ground and beg him, and let everyone see the miserable appearance of the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Thinking of this, Mu Lingyun couldn't help but laugh out loud. Yes, you bully. Do you dare to fight with my brother Outyin? Wang Yuxuan also spoke, with a look of hatred for evil in her eyes. Seeing the two people provoking him, Lin Fan smiled, the same smile he used when he threatened Mu Qingxue in the house before. When the others saw this, they felt a little puzzled. But Mu Qingxue was the only one who had a look of fear in his eyes. She had only one thought in her mind. These two people were in trouble. Second uncle, cripple him, Lin Fan said. As soon as he finished speaking, an extremely powerful aura was released, and the entire sky changed. The void trembled, and the terrifying murderous intent filled the entire hall. Everyone seemed to see a mountain of corpses and a sea of corpses. Lin Wentian's figure flashed and appeared in front of Mu Lingyun, grabbing his neck like a chicken. It's broken. The shadow in the ring saw this and looked solemn. This is a powerful god king. I didn't expect that even he misjudged him. He is actually hiding so deeply. It's not simple. Grandpa, please save brother Outyin quickly. At this time, Wang Yuxuan looked nervously at the old man beside her. I saw old Wang standing by, and I don't know when he had already kneeled on the ground. He was sweating profusely, and the sweat was dripping onto the ground. He seemed to have seen something horrible. He definitely wasn't mistaken. With this figure and this murderous intent, he was definitely the killing god of the Northern Territory. Lin Wentian. Thinking of this, his whole body trembled. He didn't expect that when he wanted to intimidate the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion, he would encounter such a tough opponent. He couldn't move. He could already sense that there was a powerful aura staring at him. If he moved, his life would be in danger. Grandpa, what's wrong with you? Wang Yuxuan was panicked when she saw the condition of old Wang, and her pretty face turned extremely pale. At this moment, the situation suddenly reversed. Seeing this, the Mu family and others didn't even dare to breathe. Their faces turned pale and their pupils shrank. This is a powerful cultivator, but he couldn't even withstand the pressure he released. What kind of existence is this inconspicuous man? At this moment, they finally understood one thing. No wonder Lin Fan was so confident just now. It turned out that he had such confidence. Mu Zichen shook his head bitterly, his eyes full of shock. Did you underestimate him? Is this the strength of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Even a powerful being could be suppressed so badly, and it was just the opponent's pressure, so wouldn't his strength be even more unfathomable? Alas, he had already advised him, but since the other party was determined to seek death, he could not stop him. Thinking of this, Mu Zichen looked somewhat helpless. Let me go! Mu Lingyun's face turned as red as pig liver. He gritted his teeth and said with difficulty, with fear in his eyes. In just a moment, before he could even react, he was caught by the man in front of him. Damn it! Is this the difference in strength? Today, I will destroy you, this ignorant brat. Lin Wentian said coldly. Then he raised his hand, and the blood-red murderous intent turned into substance, and a number of extremely terrifying small swords appeared in the void. The small sword was extremely sharp, and one could even see the piercing cold light on it. At this moment, they were all aimed at Mu Lingyun. As long as Lin Wentian laid down his hand, he would be crippled. "Master, save me!" Mu Lingyun shouted frantically in his heart, extremely anxious, with fear in his eyes. And in his mind, there was a shadow of an old man who saw this and sighed helplessly. "Master is powerless, that if I were an ordinary powerful being, I could still descend upon you and break free and escape. However, this is a divine king. The gap is too huge." After hearing this voice, Mu Lingyun widened his eyes with a look of disbelief. "There is actually a divine king beside this useless playboy. Well, I have a stream of Shenhuang Qi that can protect your lifeline, but that's all it can do," said the phantom in the ring. Hearing this, Mu Lingyun's mind was struck by lightning and his face turned pale. "You deserve to die 1,000 times even if you insult the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion," Lin Wentian said in a cold voice, his eyes full of anger and murderous intent surging to the extreme. Obviously, Mu Lingyun's insults to Lin Fan just now had touched his bottom line. As soon as he finished speaking, these blood-red little swords rushed towards Mu Lingyun at an extremely fast speed. "No!" Wang Yuxuan, who was kneeling on the ground, shouted, not wanting to see such a cruel scene. Everyone couldn't bear it and closed their eyes. After all, Mu Lingyun was also a member of their Mu family. Lin Fan, who was sitting above, watched this scene with great interest, his eyes looking down upon him, as if everything that happened had nothing to do with him. In theory, the son of luck is difficult to kill, but by crippling his tendons and scaring him, his luck can be suppressed. I don't know what his golden finger is. Brush, brush. As these blood-colored swords pierced through Mu Lingyun's body, Mu Lingyun instantly turned into a bloody man. Blood was dripping. "Ah!" Mu Lingyun wailed in pain, and his screams echoed throughout the hall. At this moment, he could no longer feel his cultivation. It was obvious that his tendons and veins were damaged, and he had become a complete useless person. Some people felt pity after seeing this, while others sneered, thinking that he deserved it for being so arrogant on a daily basis. "No!" When Wang Yuxuan saw Mu Lingyun, who looked like a bloody man, she looked a little dazed and her eyes were red. Mr. Wang's eyes were red, but he could do nothing. Ding! Suppress the son of destiny Mu Lingyun and you will be rewarded with 100 years of hard work. Do you want to claim it now? Lin Fan, who was sitting on it, suddenly heard the system prompt sound at this moment. After he came to his senses, he suppressed the joy in his heart. I didn't expect that suppressing Mu Lingyun would actually bring me an unexpected surprise. Receive it. Lin Fan said silently in his heart. I have concealed your breath. The cold voice sounded again. The next moment, endless power surged out from Lin Fan's body, continuously rising, tempering the body, refining qi, build foundation, spiritual sea. In just a few breaths, Lin Fan reached the spirit sea realm, which was the same level of cultivation as those top monsters in the Great Zhou. I actually reached the Linghai directly, Lin Fan thought excitedly. This is a realm that he, a second-grade useless body, could never reach in his entire life. For ordinary people to cultivate to the spiritual sea, they not only need talent but also the accumulation of time, which could take 100 years at the least, or more than 1,000 years at the most. And Mu Qingxue, who has 9th-grade talent, is only at the spiritual sea level at this age. It can be said to be a step to heaven. When he gets married tomorrow and obtains double pupils, his physique will be recleaved. Only then will he become invincible. Come back to your senses. To outsiders, Lin Fan had an indifferent expression, a dignified temperament, and his eyes were looking straight ahead. The aura on his body became more ethereal and mysterious, making people dare not look directly at him. No need to bother, uncle, that I will kill this villain myself. Suddenly, Lin Fan spoke, stood up, and walked slowly away. When these words were spoken, everyone was shocked. They didn't expect that Lin Fan would actually kill Mu Lingyun himself. But when they thought about it, They realized that it would be strange if Lin Fan was not angry after Mu Lingyun insulted him so much just now. "Oh, since your nephew wants to kill him, then I'll let you kill him." Lin Wentian laughed loudly. Then he loosened his hand and threw Mu Lingyun, who was like a dead dog, to the ground. Mu Qingshua's eyes were complicated. She didn't expect Lin Fan to be so cruel that it seemed that her life in the Lin family would be difficult in the future. Lin Fan walked over slowly and drew the sword from his waist. When Mu Lingyun saw him coming, his eyes also turned red, and he said angrily, "Lin Fan, if I don't die today, I will come back one day, slaughter your entire family, drink your flesh, and drink your blood." He is very manly, with a resolute look on his face, just like a true protagonist. That's right. The Lin family is nothing but a nobody. With me here, they will surely make a comeback in the future. The shadow in the ring comforted him. He also felt a little emotional. He didn't expect to meet a tough opponent this time. They had never failed before. Was it really an accident? Thinking of this, he couldn't help but look up to the young man in front of him who looked like a banished immortal. It would be fine if you didn't look at it, but once you do, you'll be shocked. Shit. When did he break through the spiritual sea realm? Wasn't he just refining his body? Others could not see it, but the shadow who had once stepped above the level of a saint could see it. Could it be a hidden realm? It is hidden so deeply. If so, I have to remind Outyin later. Thinking of this, his eyes were filled with solemnity and palpitations. He's just a dying man. Why bother talking so much nonsense? Lin Fan chuckled, not caring at all. He knew that he could not kill Mu Lingyun now, but it would be good if he could force him to reveal some of his trump cards. Mu Lingyun endured the severe pain and asked in his heart, "Master, can your Xianhuang Qi really protect my heart meridian later?" "That's natural." A calm and confident voice came from the phantom. Mu Lingyun felt relieved after hearing these words. With his master around, it would not be impossible for him to make a comeback in the future. After all, his master was a great warrior from ancient times, an existence above the saints in the legend. The methods he displayed before shocked him greatly. Thinking of this, the light in his eyes returned and a disdainful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. He closed his eyes, prepared to fake his death and then conceal the truth. Just as Lin Fan was about to kill him, Wang Yuxuan stood up. She walked tremblingly to Mu Lingyun, opened her arms, and her petite body was trembling. "You can't kill him," she said in a trembling voice, seeming to be very afraid of the man in front of her. "Why? Why should you ask me not to kill him?" Lin Fan became interested and asked. Only then did he take a serious look at the girl in front of him. Wang Yuxuan was wearing a light yellow dress. Although her appearance was not as stunning as Mu Qingshua's, she was still a beauty in the area, with a natural beauty and a natural charm, as pure and lovely as a girl next door. Besides, she is a natural spiritual body, and if I could practice dual cultivation with her, the benefits would be immense. As long as you don't kill him, I can agree to anything you ask for, Wang Yuxuan said loudly, as if she had used up all her strength, looking at him timidly with her beautiful eyes. Now she is not as arrogant as she was at the beginning. "Do you agree to everything?" After hearing this, Lin Fan did not say anything, as if he was thinking about something. "Xianer, go away." At this time, Mu Lingyun behind became anxious and shouted quickly, "Don't disrupt his plan. He wants to use Lin Fan's help to fake his death and escape. Moreover, Xianer is his woman. If Lin Fan falls in love with Xianer, he would be in big trouble. I can spare his life, but you have to be my slave," Lin Fan said slowly, looking at her. "Slave?" When these words were spoken, everyone looked extremely shocked. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan fell into even greater hesitation. "Don't promise him, Xianer." Just as Mu Lingyun was about to say something, Lin Fan sealed his mouth with a divine thought. How about you become my slave, and I can promise to let your brother Outyin go. Otherwise, I will kill him in front of you." Then Lin Fan threatened again. "You don't want to watch your brother Outyin die here, right?" After all, you like him so much. After hearing these words, Mu Qingxue, who was present, couldn't help but shudder. Everyone looked at Lin Fan, who was like a devil, and now they were more convinced of the rumors in the imperial capital. It seemed that he was even more terrifying than the rumors. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan's whole body trembled. Her eyes were red, and it seemed that there were some crystal tears welling up in them. Brother Outyen, I won't be able to accompany you from now on. Don't provoke those you can't afford to offend anymore. I promise you, Wang Yuxuan said, gritting her teeth, thinking about being humiliated by the beast in front of her in the future. But being powerless to do anything about it, her pretty face turned pale. Old Wang on the side wanted to speak, but sensing Lin Wentian's murderous intent, he could only shrink back and dared not utter a word. Okay, you have the guts. In that case, release your consciousness and let me plant the slave mark. Looking at the pitiful girl in front of him, Lin Fan said mercilessly. Upon hearing that she had to open her spiritual consciousness to plant the slave mark, Wang Yuxuan was a little hesitant, but thinking of saving Mu Lingyun, she still opened her spiritual consciousness. Mu Lingyun on the side had red eyes and his chest was filled with anger. He wanted to speak, but couldn't, and could only stammer. Don't believe him. Shenner. Lin Fan, you beast, if you harm Shenner, I will cut you into pieces. Mu Lingyun roared in his heart, but he was powerless. When he thought about the future, the woman he loved would have sex with Lin Fan every night. He hasn't even touched Shenner's hand. Good. Very obedient. Lin Fan praised, and then a divine thought flew into Wang Yuxuan's consciousness. The master-servant contract between the two was also formally reached. Now, Lin Fan can control Wang Yuxuan's life and death with just a thought, and Wang Yuxuan cannot resist his will. Is he going further and further down the path of becoming a villain? Lin Fan sighed a little. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. I didn't expect that the eldest daughter of the Wang family would end up becoming Lin Fan's slave. If this were to be made known to others, her suitors would commit suicide by jumping into the river. Call me master and let me hear it, Lin Fan said with some evil taste. Wang Yuxuan did not dare to disobey and could only respectfully call out, Master! After hearing this, Lin Fan nodded and enjoyed it very much. Lin Wentian on the side couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Damn! My nephew is so awesome. Seeing this, Mu Lingyun, who was lying on the ground, had bloodshot eyes as he stared at Lin Fan unwillingly with a look of great resentment. Okay, in that case, I must also be honest and trustworthy. Mu Lingyun is spared the death penalty, but he cannot escape the punishment of life. Lin Fan spoke, and then a sword light flashed, and Mu Lingyun's right hand was cut off. You! Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes widened, and she became a little angry when she saw this scene. For a moment, blood gushed out continuously. After Mu Lingyun reacted, his originally red face turned pale. His ring. This is his biggest secret, he can't live without it. Wang Yuxuan quickly used magic to help him stop the bleeding. What do you want to say? Wang Yuxuan felt a little disappointed when she saw Mu Lingyun hesitating and lacking the vigor and vitality he had at the beginning, and not at all steady. Lin Fan gave a meaningful smile and said, I really didn't notice it. Just now, he discovered that a wisp of golden breath emerged from the ring and entered Mu Lingyun's body. From this, it can be inferred that Mu Lingyun's golden finger must be this ring. If I'm not mistaken, there might be an old man inside the ring. In front of Mu Lingyun's horrified face, Lin Fan took out the ring and then put it into the storage ring. Good stuff, I want it, Lin Fan said with a smile. Seeing his woman being robbed and even his greatest secret opportunity being taken away by the devil in front of him, Mu Lingyun fainted from anger. Lin Fan shook his head upon seeing this, looking disappointed. This child of destiny is too vulnerable to shocks. Uncle, let them go, he said. Afterwards, Lin Wentian withdrew his breath. Boss Wang was gasping for breath, as if he had just returned from the gates of hell. Take him away, maybe he can be saved, Lin Fan said to Wang Laodao, pointing at the unconscious Mu Lingyun. Wang Yuxuan, who was standing next to her, didn't dare to move because she didn't have Lin Fan's order. Seeing this, old Wang could only grit his teeth and dared not mention anything else. He took Mu Lingyun, who was lying on the ground like a dead dog, away. Inside the hall, everyone looked at the figure in the center that looked like a banished immortal, their eyes filled with fear. At this moment, they no longer dared to talk about him. Lin Fan's ruthlessness had conquered everyone present. Lin Fan didn't care. He just watched Mu Lingyun's back as he was carried away, his eyes thoughtful. My dear leeks, you must grow well so that it will be fun to slaughter them. I helped the Mu family clean up today, but ended up dirtying the hall. I think the head of the Mu family should understand me. Lin Fan turned around and spoke apologetically, sincerely, like a completely different person from before. After Mu Zichin heard this, cold sweat broke out on his body. How could he dare to object? Good job destroying him. This Mu Lingyun usually relies on his talent to be arrogant and domineering. He bullies many young people in the Mu family. I was planning to deal with him these days, but I didn't expect that he was solved by the young master. It's really gratifying. Mu Zichin's eyes rolled and he responded quickly. In fact, what he said was not false. Many disciples present had been bullied by Mu Lingyun, but they did not dare to speak out because of their face. Lin Fan nodded, and then agreed. That's good. I thought that Chief Su would be unhappy if I cleaned up the mess for him without permission. Alas, if I hadn't seen him humiliating you like this, I wouldn't have done such a cruel thing. After all, it's fine if he humiliates me, but he humiliates you. You are my future father-in-law, and you can't tolerate such a villain. I can only teach him a lesson for you. After saying this, he still looked angry, as if he was still not satisfied, and cursed a few more times in a low voice. After hearing this, everyone present suddenly realized that it did make some sense. Thinking of this, they couldn't help but have a slightly different opinion of Lin Fan. As an old fox, Mu Zichin could naturally hear the intention of shifting the blame, and his face couldn't help but darken. Even so, he would take it. Young master, you are so thoughtful that I am so moved that I am crying. Mu Zichin said with some emotion, tears streaming down his face. To outsiders, this is a great relationship between a son-in-law and his father-in-law. Okay, now that today's matter has been resolved, it's time to discuss the date of the wedding. At this time, Lin Wentian interrupted. He did not forget the purpose of his coming. That's right, second uncle. You were so thoughtful that I almost forgot about it. Lin Fan patted his head and said in a daze. After hearing this, Mu Qingxue, who was standing by, sighed softly, with a complicated expression on her face. Is it finally my turn? Mu Zichin looked at Mu Qingxue with a distressed look in his eyes. But he had to ask, Lear, when do you want to get married? After hearing this, Mu Qingxue sneered in her heart. Does she have any choice? It's all up to you, sir, she said, her voice extremely cold. In an instant, everyone's eyes turned to Lin Fan with extremely curious expressions. Ding! At this moment, several choices appeared in Lin Fan's eyes. Choose to get married tomorrow, and you will be rewarded with chaos double pupils tomorrow. Choose to get married in 1 month. 1 month later, you will be rewarded with a drop of true dragon blood and gain 10 points of favorability from Mu Qingxue. Choose to get married 1 year later, and you will be rewarded with 50 years of cultivation and 20 points of Mu Qingxue's favorability after 1 year. After seeing it, Lin Fan chose the first one without any hesitation. Ridiculous. A drop of true dragon blood and 50 years of cultivation are worthy of being compared with double pupils? And what about Mu Qingxue's favorability? He needs it. Just cook the raw rice into cooked rice. It's better to do it today than to wait for another day. Let's get married tomorrow. Lin Fan said, regardless of their thoughts. After these words were spoken, Mu Qingxue's face turned even paler. If we can delay it for a few months, we might have a chance to put up a resistance. But if it happens tomorrow, then I will really be in his clutches for the rest of my life. Mu Zichin didn't expect it to happen so quickly. He looked a little hesitant and said carefully, how about a little longer? After all, the rules of marriage in the Great Zhou Dynasty require a 3-month wait. Lin Fan smiled and said, it doesn't matter. Rules are dead, but people are alive. After hearing this, Mu Zichen could only nod and let it go, not daring to mention it again. In that case, I will take my leave and prepare for tomorrow's wedding. After that, Lin Fan took Wang Yuxuan and left the Mu mansion. The next day, the entire imperial capital knew about the marriage of the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. The most shocking thing was that the person he was marrying was actually the current goddess. Overnight, countless young men in the Great Zhou were heartbroken. They cursed Lin Fan in their hearts and wished they could replace him. At the same time, another piece of news came out that the little princess of the Wang family, Wang Yuxuan, actually became Lin Fan's slave because she pleaded for a man. When this incident happened, many men's eyes turned red and they were very jealous. Wang Yuxuan is one of the 4 great beauties in the imperial capital and has many suitors. Within just one day, half of the 4 beauties in the imperial capital fell into Lin Fan's hands. This also makes countless people sigh that some people are born in Rome, while others are born as cattle and horses. Of course, these voices that were unfavorable to Lin Fan were suppressed by Moonlight Lotus Mansion. The Great Zhou Palace. After hearing the report from his servant, a feminine young man in a python robe suddenly burst into a burst of murderous intent. He is of noble status, being the 3rd prince of the current court, named Zhou Bai. What did you say? The goddess Mu Qingxue is going to marry that loser today, Zhou Bai said, suppressing the anger in his heart. That's right. An old eunuch in front of him responded timidly. Boom! Zhou Bai burst out with his cultivation, and the powerful aura directly knocked the old eunuch away. Why? I have 5th grade talent and a natural king body. How can I be inferior to that loser? Zhou Bai roared. His eyes were extremely red, as if he had lost his mind. After calming down for a long time, his eyes turned cold and a hint of gloom appeared in them. In that case, Lin Fan, don't blame me for taking your life. You dare to fall in love with my woman. He secretly decided in his heart that when he went to grab the bride, he must not let Lin Fan succeed. Inside the Scarlet Cloud Sword Sect, a wide and flat arena for fighting. At this moment, a fierce battle is taking place here, with 2 young figures shuttling back and forth in it. They are both disciples of the Scarlet Cloud Sword Sect. Although they are young, they have already demonstrated extraordinary strength. The people in the audience were extremely excited and were cheering them on crazily. It was obvious that these 2 people were very popular within the sect. Soon, one of them was defeated, ending the battle. Saint Lady Lu, I admire you that I didn't expect that even with my mastery of swordsmanship I couldn't be your match. On the stage, a man said unwillingly that he had delicate features but looked a little lonely at this moment. His name is Lan Feng. He is a true disciple of the sect. He is extremely talented and a genius with 6th grade qualifications. Just a month ago, he had already entered the late stage of the Spirit Sea. On the opposite side, there was a graceful figure, a woman in a green dress, holding a green sword, with a graceful figure and elegant temperament. Like a fairy descending from the earth, her beauty was suffocating, as if she did not belong to this world. Brother Lan Feng, you are already very powerful, I just won by luck. Lu Ruyan opened her red lips slightly. Her voice was clear and pleasant, like the sound of nature. Lan Feng smiled bitterly after hearing this. Just when he was about to say something polite, he suddenly heard someone calling him from behind. Brother, something terrible has happened. No hurry, what's wrong? The goddess is getting married. Today, she will marry Lin Fan from Moonlight Lotus Mansion. What? After these words were spoken, Lan Feng instantly lost his composure. His face turned dark, and his eyes were filled with anxiety. Lin Fan, this loser, is worthy of marrying a goddess? He started cursing loudly, his eyes burning with anger, completely losing the calmness he had at the beginning. It feels as if the white moonlight in your heart has been ruined by a dog. Then what should we do? After all, everyone in the sect already knows that you, senior brother, love Mu Qingxue. The younger brother asked cautiously. I will never let that loser get the goddess. Come on, I'm going to grab the bride today. Lan Feng said in a cold voice. A hint of murderous intent flashed in his eyes, and then his figure flashed and disappeared on the spot. On the other side, after hearing this, Lu Ruyan showed a hint of curiosity on her beautiful face. She had heard of Lin Fan's reputation, but she didn't expect that the woman would actually marry him. After thinking about it, her eyes became more curious. A smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, and she decided to follow Lan Feng and the others. What she didn't know was that this curiosity might very well put her at risk. The palace of the Great Zhou Dynasty. Deep inside the palace, a middle-aged man in a dragon robe sat on the dragon throne. He was surrounded by dragon energy. His aura was as deep as the ocean, and he emitted a brilliant golden light. When his eyes opened and closed, the aura of the emperor was revealed, and he was extremely powerful. He is the emperor of the Great Zhou Dynasty, the king of Great Zhou. You said that the dissolute young master of the Lin family wants to marry Mu Qingxue? King Zhou spoke slowly, his eyes deep. Off stage, a guard in a black robe replied tremblingly, "That's right." After the eunuch heard this, he immediately said, "Your Majesty, we cannot let the Moonlight Lotus Mansion succeed. This is obviously their plan to target our royal family. Mu Zichen, the head of the Mu family, is a minister of our court. Everyone knows this. And the goddess of the Mu family naturally belongs to our court. Isn't the behavior of Moonlight Lotus Mansion a naked slap in our face?" After hearing this, King Zhou's eyes became even colder. "Shut up. Do you really think I don't know? Why do you need to tell me?" He waved his hand and blew the eunuch away. "At any time," he said in a cold voice, "what a great Moonlight Lotus Mansion. What a great Lin family. They have really grown stronger in recent years and are taking our court less and less seriously. I should just change our Great Zhou to Great Nan." Thinking of this, he felt extremely angry and wished he could order people to kill them right now. But this is just a thought, he really can't do it. After all, the imperial court is now in decline, while the Tianyuan prefecture is becoming increasingly powerful as the new and old dynasties take over. Even in the court, that abominable Lin Zhan Lao bidding actually made him call a horse a zebra and do such a ridiculous thing, but he could only turn a blind eye and play dumb just like an actor. Damn it! If he wasn't strong enough, he wouldn't have fallen to this point. No, Mu Qingxue is an extremely important chess piece. He cannot give her up. If he gives her up, the Great Zhou might really have to change its name 100 years later. Pass on my dragon order. Call on the Shadow Guard to dispatch 10 heavenly rank assassins, and when Lin Fan goes out alone, intercept and kill him. He hesitated for a moment and then gritted his teeth. Then a hint of madness appeared in the eyes of the king of Zhou. "Lin Zhan, don't you care about your son the most? Then I will let him die first, and send you to reunite with him in the future." "Yes." The black-robed guard was extremely shocked after hearing this, but he still responded. 10 heavenly rank assassins, that's 10 Purple Mansion realm assassins. Their power is so huge. It seems that His Majesty's hatred towards Lin Zhan has reached its limit. Mu Mansion. Inside the boudoir, Mu Qingxue sat in front of a bronze mirror, and a servant was helping her put on makeup. There was a hint of haggardness in her eyes, but it still couldn't hide her stunning beauty. The gorgeous red wedding dress on her body, like a blooming flower, set off her beauty beyond compare. Su's mother, standing by, looked at her beautiful daughter with a guilty and helpless heart. She sighed softly and said, "My daughter, I'm sorry for you. If your father wasn't incompetent, our family wouldn't have ended up like this, and you wouldn't have to marry him." When she said this, Su's mother's voice was a little choked up and her eyes gradually became moist. Just today, Su's mother returned home after going out for business and learned the news that her daughter was about to get married. "It's okay, mother. This is my own decision that I don't blame anyone, including father," Mu Qingxue said softly, holding her mother's hand and comforting her. Seeing her daughter so sensible, Su's mother felt even more distressed. "When you marry into the Lin family, if you are treated unfairly, you must tell me and I will seek justice for you." Mu Qingxue's beautiful face showed a smile that made the world a little dim. "Don't worry, mother. I am a spiritual sea realm cultivator. My cultivation is much higher than his. If anyone wants to bully, it will be me who bullies him. Hearing this, Su's mother felt relieved. Suddenly, there was a sound of brisk footsteps outside the door, and a girl whose facial features were somewhat similar to Mu Qingxue walked in. She was petite, but graceful, small, and exquisite, with the appearance of a beauty. "Sister, you look so beautiful today," the girl said. She seemed to have something to say to them, but her attention was diverted at this moment and her eyes were full of shock. "That's right. She is Mu Qingxue's biological sister, Su Yao." Mu Qingxue touched her head and said softly, "Did you come up here to tell us something?" After hearing this, Su Yao finally reacted and said, "By the way, the Lin family's betrothal gifts have arrived. There are so many things. Father asked you to go down and take a look." After hearing this, Su's mother and Mu Qingxue looked at each other with a hint of curiosity in their eyes. Then the two followed Su Yao down. After Mu Qingxue and the other two came down, they were also shocked when they saw the scene in front of them. Several elders said in great shock, "Broken mirror pills, hiss. There are actually 3 of them. This is a priceless item if left outside. Even if we sell our entire Mu family, we may not be able to get even one. This is actually the blood essence of a fierce beast of the God King level, and it is from the mysterious ice blood bird. If this is released, the entire imperial capital will be shocked. I didn't expect the Moonlight Lotus Mansion to be so generous. Come and take a look. There are 3 more martial arts books here. They are all of heavenly grade. Holy crap." However, in addition to these, the betrothal gifts also include some treasures that are rarely seen in normal times and only exist in legends. Such a betrothal gift is really too generous and too shocking. I am afraid that in the whole Great Zhou, only Moonlight Lotus Mansion can afford it. Mu Zichen was even more ecstatic. This realm-breaking pill was simply his life-saving elixir. He has been stuck in the Purple Mansion realm for more than 10 years and has never made a breakthrough. He had recently decided to give up, but he didn't expect that Moonlight Lotus Mansion would give him a big surprise. With this realm-breaking pill, he might be able to break through to the level of a powerful being today. This has always been his wish. Mu Qingxue also remained silent, with a strange look in her eyes. The blood essence of the mysterious ice bloodbird was at the God King level. For her, as long as she absorbed this drop of blood essence, her strength would skyrocket to a terrifying level. It can be said that this drop of essence blood is tailor-made for her ice phoenix divine body. Mu Qingxue's expression was a little complicated and moved at this moment. Getting married might not be a bad thing. Su's mother's eyes widened when she saw the betrothal gifts. Many times, the other party's attitude can be seen from the amount of the betrothal gift. From this point of view, the sincerity shown by the Lin family is really enough. It doesn't seem like a joke at all, but rather it seems to be taken seriously. At this moment, everyone had an idea in their mind. It might not be impossible for the goddess to marry him. Moonlight Lotus Mansion. At this moment, the gate is decorated with lights and is full of joy and bustle. There was an endless stream of dignitaries coming here, for the simple reason that today was the wedding day of the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Among those who came were sect leaders, family patriarchs, elders, and holy lords from the Holy Land, and even many royal families from the imperial court came. All in all, almost all the important figures in the Great Zhou Dynasty came. There is no way. This is the influence of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. I, Lin Fan, would like to express my deepest gratitude to all of you for attending my son's wedding today. If you need any help from my Moonlight Lotus Mansion in the future, please feel free to ask. On the stage, Lin Fan spoke loudly, his voice like a bell, echoing throughout the mansion. No, we have the honor to attend the young master's wedding, which is a blessing we have cultivated for 8 lifetimes. That's right. The goddess has a beautiful face and a proud talent, and she is a perfect match for the young master. Yes, I hope the palace master will not despise the meager gifts we bring. At this moment, the entire hall was filled with such voices, and everyone was very flattering. In a corner, there was a feminine man who was unhappy and didn't say a word. A match made in heaven, bah. That loser is worthy of the goddess. He only dared to curse in his heart but didn't dare to curse out loud. Third prince, Let's not cause any trouble today. After all, this is the territory of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. A servant nearby looked around and advised in a low voice. After hearing this, Zhou Bai frowned. It doesn't matter if they make trouble, but do they dare to kill me in public? It's ridiculous. Today I want to make this rubbish lose face. Thinking of this, a sneer appeared on his face, and it was obvious that he had already thought of how to humiliate him later. Seeing this, the servant next to him didn't dare to say much and sighed in his heart. Soon, Lin Fan and Mu Qingxue appeared on the scene. Lin Fan was dressed in white, with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. He was extremely handsome and had a tall figure that he exuded an innate nobility and had an imposing temperament, which attracted the attention of many women present. Mu Qingxue was also wearing a wedding dress, with 3,000 silver threads scattered on her shoulders, eyebrows like ink paintings, and light makeup on her beautiful face, making her already stunningly beautiful even more beautiful and charming. When people present saw her, they couldn't help but hold their breath. Just like a fairy in the sky, breathtakingly beautiful and unparalleled in grace. The two of them standing there seemed to be an inexplicable match. Lin Zhan laughed and clapped his hands vigorously. Seeing such a beautiful daughter-in-law, his eyes became red as he laughed. Rookin, did you see that? Our son is getting married soon. It would be great if you could come back. The only thing that can move the expression of such a man of integrity is the softness in his heart. Bow to heaven and earth. Bow to your parents. Husband and wife bow to each other. After the old man finished reading it 3 times, Lin Fan and Mu Qingxue looked at each other. Mu Qingxue looked at the handsome face, felt the man's breath, and her face couldn't help but blush. This face is indeed quite pretty. Mu Qingxue couldn't help but think in her heart that she had seen many outstanding men, but the only one who was so extraordinary and handsome was Lin Fan. If only he had better talent, wasn't so arrogant, and could stay at home quietly as a vase, it wouldn't be impossible for him and I to be brothers in arms and get married. A smile appeared on Mu Qingxue's lips, so beautiful that it was shocking. At this moment, Lin Fan, who was facing him, was completely unaware and his eyes looked somewhat empty. Ding! Marry Mu Qingxue and you will be rewarded with double pupils. Do you want to claim it now? And in the audience, everyone also praised it. A talented man and a beautiful woman. The young master and the goddess are really a perfect match. Yes, a perfect match. They seem to have walked out of a poem or painting. They are so well matched. They spoke one word at a time, praising highly. Send her to the bridal chamber. At this moment, the host saw that the atmosphere was almost right and hurriedly spoke. After Mu Qingxue heard this, her pretty face flushed when she thought about what was going to happen. She had never seen such a scene before and her mind was filled with thoughts. Wait a minute. I heard that Moonlight Lotus Mansion is full of talented people and heroes, so the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion must be very powerful. Today, I want to challenge the young master that I hope the young master will give me some advice. Just then, a voice was heard. Everyone looked and found that the speaker was the third Prince Zhou Bai. Zhou Bai flew in the air, clasped his fists and said, emitting a powerful aura, if you feel that the gap in our cultivation is too great, I can suppress you to the same realm as you and compete with you to show everyone here a wonderful battle. I'm sure that as the husband of the goddess, you will not refuse. He continued, his tone somewhat intriguing, his eyes haughty, as if giving alms. As soon as these words were spoken, the whole audience was in an uproar. What does the third prince mean by this? Is he going to ruin the party? Anyone with a discerning eye could see that he was trying to set a trap for Lin Fan. If you accept the fight, he has 6th grade talent, a natural king body, and is a peerless genius. How can a useless person like you possibly can win? If you don't accept the fight, it means you are afraid and will fall into a disadvantage. No matter which one you choose, there is no solution. After hearing this, Lin Zhan's face turned cold and his brows frowned. Just when he was about to take action to deal with this kid who didn't know how to live or die, a voice rang out. You are worthy enough to challenge me? The sound was not loud, but it echoed throughout the hall. The double pupil has been released. Should we cover up the strange phenomenon? No need to hide. Come as big as you can. Lin Fan answered without hesitation. He was not some grassroots protagonist who hid here and there and was invincible like a coward. Since you have come through time and space, why should you be timid? If you want to pretend to be the best. Just at this moment, an extremely terrifying aura emanated from Lin Fan. The aura was so powerful that it was like an ancient god resurrected. This happened too suddenly. Everyone felt this breath, their faces changed, and they looked up. Lin Fan was seen standing in the void, with a divine light bursting out of his eyes, illuminating the entire world. And Lin Fan's pupil actually split into two and turned into a boundless black hole. As it opened and closed, the stars in the universe were evolving. The heaven and earth were shaking, and the void was trembling, as if a great terror was about to awaken. At the same time, an extremely sacred vision erupted in the sky, and countless phantoms of ancient saints appeared. They were as powerful as a rainbow, with rules and order entwined around them. Their aura was extremely strong. What was most shocking was that at this moment they were actually kneeling and worshipping Lin Fan. What is this? Everyone looked shocked and couldn't help asking. This is the pilgrimage of all saints. The young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion is extraordinary. He is going to awaken an extremely powerful physique. So powerful that the whole world will be shocked. An old man suddenly exclaimed. After hearing this, everyone was also suddenly enlightened, and there was still shock in their eyes. The visions of the goddess Ice Phoenix's divine body were not this terrifying. Just when everyone thought it was over, an even more terrifying vision appeared. Boom! 10 huge star shadows appeared, like 10 scorching suns, illuminating the entire sky. Heaven and earth resonated, and the divine chain of order surrounded Lin Fan. With runes intertwined, he closed his eyes tightly, like a young god descending to the world. Without even opening his eyes, the young man could vaguely see a piece of nothingness evolving, the heaven and earth resonating, lights flying, and the sound of the Tao lingering in the sky for a long time. When everyone saw such a horrifying sight, their pupils shrank slightly and their faces were filled with disbelief. Finally, Lin Fan opened his eyes, and his pupils split into two, becoming double pupils. A divine light burst out from his eyes, so terrifying that it seemed as if it could tear the sky apart. Is this the double pupil? Lin Fan whispered. His heart was very excited, and he felt that his whole body was full of strength, especially his eyes. His body also underwent tremendous changes. His cultivation level directly broke through from the late Linghai realm to the early Zifu realm, which was a huge improvement. He couldn't wait to try out these eyes. At this moment, everyone held their breath, and when they saw Lin Fan's eyes, they were shocked and stunned. Is this the legendary double pupils? Someone recognized it and exclaimed. People with chaos double pupils were already known to be invincible several eras ago. When people with chaos double pupils came into the world, who could compete with them? The pupil is split into two, and the strange phenomenon is monstrous. This is undoubtedly a double pupil. The situation in the Great Zhou is about to change. No, even the entire East Shenzhou will change because of this. The title of the King Ofgyo's double pupilsis, not just talk. God bless the Great Zhou. I didn't expect that not only would a goddess with the Ice Phoenix divine body be sent down, but now there are double pupils. I don't know what the third prince is thinking right now. If you hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten about this. Judging from the style of Moonlight Lotus Mansion, this matter will probably not be let go. Someone is going to be a clown. Everyone present was talking about it and marveling at it. Mu Qingshua's beautiful eyes shone with a strange light, and her pretty face was filled with shock. She had not expected that Lin Fan had actually awakened the legendary double pupils, and the Ice Phoenix divine body in her body actually felt fear at this moment. Could it be that the aptitude of a person with chaos double pupilsis even stronger than that of the 9th grade? For a moment, her expression was a little complicated. She once said that if she were to get married, she would marry a man who was stronger than her. She didn't expect that it would come true now. In the void, Good, good, good. You are worthy of being my Lin Zhan's son. You are as outstanding as your father. Lin Zhan said 3 good words excitedly. He was extremely excited. Lin Wentian, who was below, also flew up and praised. I didn't expect that the legendary double pupil would appear in our Lin family. This is really a great kindness. A great kindness. Soon, another extremely powerful figure appeared. A terrifying aura made the people below dare not speak, and their faces turned extremely pale. After everyone saw clearly, their pupils shrank slightly. This is actually one of the 4 great saints. Lin Yu, who is also Lin Fan's grandfather. Lin Yu was wearing a gray robe, with an ethereal aura surrounding him. He looked like an immortal and extremely powerful. He flew in front of Lin Fan, and when he saw the chaos in those eyes that seemed to be able to swallow him, he couldn't help but feel overjoyed. He even felt such a palpitation it was undoubtedly true that he had double pupils. God bless the Lin family. God bless the Lin family. Lin Yu exclaimed loudly, his eyes full of admiration. Hello? Grandpa, father, and second uncle. Seeing this, Lin Fan also greeted them one by one. The 3 of them nodded with satisfaction in their eyes. Just when Lin Yu wanted to reminisce about the past with Lin Fan, he was rejected by Lin Fan. My grandson has something to finish. I'll be back soon. He did not forget about Zhou Bai, and then he disappeared on the spot. Seeing him disappear, Lin Yu was a little confused. After listening to the explanation of the 2, he finally reacted and there was some anger on his face. What a great court! If Chun'er hadn't awakened his double pupils, wouldn't this kid have brought shame upon our wedding day? Lin Yu said angrily, then looked down. At this moment, Zhou Bai, who had been full of vigor and vitality just now, turned green after seeing Lin Fan's chaos double pupils awakened. He didn't expect that the slap in the face would come so quickly. When he saw Lin Fan flying towards him, he actually had a trace of retreat in his heart. It's okay. It's okay so what if he has awakened his double pupils? I have a 6th grade king body, so why should I be afraid of him? What's more, he had just awakened his double pupils, and his cultivation was only at the foundation building stage. It was impossible that a double pupil could make him become extraordinary. At the same time, a bold idea emerged in Zhou Bai's mind. If he could defeat the opponent later, wouldn't he become famous all over the world? Thinking of this, Zhou Bai turned his gaze towards Mu Qingxue and said to himself, take a good look at what the gap is between him and me. Just after Zhou Bai adjusted his mentality and prepared to fight, at this moment, he saw Lin Fan's double pupils. In an instant, a pressure from the soul came over him, and a sense of fear appeared in his heart, and his whole body was shaking. That's it. You don't even have the courage to look me in the face, yet you dare to challenge me. Lin Fan, wearing fluttering white clothes and with his chaos double pupils, emitting a faint light, said disdainfully, with unparalleled elegance, like a young king. With a plop, Zhou Zhongran knelt down in response. The ground was surprisingly wet and there was a smell of urine. There was no other reason. The pressure from the chaos double pupils was simply too terrifying. Could actually make his mind waver and devour his soul. Lin Fan frowned, turned and left. Killing such a person made him sick. When everyone saw this, they were extremely shocked. The pressure from the chaos double pupils alone was enough to defeat the genius of the Spirit Sea realm. Double pupils are truly invincible. We don't even have the courage to look at them. Yes, I just took a look, and his eyes seemed to be able to devour my soul. It was really terrifying. Those with chaos double pupils are invincible. With Lin Fan in this world, I'm afraid other geniuses will be eclipsed. When they saw Zhou Bai's predicament, they all laughed at him. I thought he was very capable, but I didn't expect him to be scared to the point of peeing his pants. Yes, it really brings shame to our royal family. You clown, you got slapped in the face. Zhou Bai, who was kneeling on the ground, gradually came to his senses. When he heard their ridicule, his eyes turned red. Shut up. It's urgent. It's urgent. Afterwards, amid the laughter of the crowd, he lowered his head and left Moonlight Lotus Mansion. On the other side, the Mu family. Is this my brother-in-law? So handsome and awesome, Su Yao said with admiration in her beautiful eyes. Mu Zichen and Su's mother beside him remained silent, with shock in their eyes, and they looked at each other. It seems that the Mu family is really going to take off this time. In the void, when Lin Zhan and others saw this scene, there was a flash of shock in their eyes. The power of the chaos double pupil sis indeed well deserved. He can suppress other geniuses just by his aura. Lin Wentian exclaimed, "That's right. Even I can't see through his cultivation. His spiritual sea is like a chaos, ethereal and empty." Lin Yu stroked his beard, his eyes filled with amazement. After hearing this, Lin Zhan said proudly, "My son Lin Fan has the qualities of a great emperor." At this moment, Lin Fan below sneezed, his face showing some surprise. "Who is it? Who is cursing me?" Under the shocked gazes of everyone, Lin Fan returned to Mu Qingshue's side, his expression calm and relaxed, as if he had just solved a small matter. He did not forget that the most important part of the marriage, the bridal chamber, had not yet been prepared. "How about it? Isn't my husband awesome?" Lin Fan teased, looking at Mu Qingxue. Mu Qingxue approached and saw the pair of double pupils. She felt a strong pressure. Her beautiful eyes trembled slightly, and she said casually, "It's okay." After she finished speaking, she realized, "Husband." Didn't she indirectly acknowledge this identity? There will be something even more powerful later. Lin Fan whispered in Mu Qingshue's ear. After Mu Qingxue heard this, her pretty face suddenly turned red, like a ripe apple, and she was extremely beautiful. Of course she understood what he meant. Her face turned red with shame and she pushed him away, but her strength was very weak, as if they were just making love. When the people below saw this, they also smiled in surprise and started to tease each other. Look at how good the relationship between the couple is. They are such a perfect match. Yes, a double pupil king, a 9th grade divine body. How perfect would the offspring born in the future be? I dare not even imagine the talent they would have. After Mu Qingxue heard this, her face turned even redder. At this time, the MC also cooperated and continued. "Then please send the newlyweds to the bridal chamber." Just then, an inopportune voice sounded again. Lan Feng, the second-ranked member of the Scarlet Cloud Sword Sect, has come to ask for advice from the young master of the Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Several figures appeared outside the door, led by Lan Feng. He was neither humble nor arrogant. His body stood tall, his robe fluttering in the wind, making him look like a leader of the righteous. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone started talking about it. It turned out to be him, the Red Sword God King's direct disciple, a sword genius that appears only once in 100 years. I heard that he defeated Kai Shukuan, who was ranked 10th on the Great Zhou Talent ranking a few days ago. Hiss. Now there's something to watch. The previous third prince was only ranked 50th on the genius list. There is absolutely no comparison between the two. When Lin Fan on the stage heard that there was another blind person challenging him, his face turned a little cold. "You guys really deserve to die for disturbing my bridal chamber time and time again." Seeing this, Mu Qingxue couldn't help but smile, with curved eyebrows and crossed arms, looking like he was watching a show. "I'll deal with you when I come back." Lin Fan pinched her face and said helplessly. Lin Fan was seen walking out of the void with the gait of a tiger, his white robe rustling, his chaos double pupils emitting a faint light, the galaxy in his eyes evolving strange visions. His temperament was extraordinary, like a king. "Who are you?" Lan Feng couldn't help but ask when he saw an extremely terrifying person walking towards him. Where's that loser Lin Fan?" "Your father." Lin Fan didn't give any face and spoke directly. "Huh? Your father? Who are you?" Lan Feng didn't react. After hearing this, the people in the audience burst into laughter and looked at them as if they were clowns. At this time, the lackey beside Lan Feng finally reacted and whispered, "Big brother, it seems that he is Lin Fan." "I know." Lan Feng reacted instantly, his face cold, and he gritted his teeth. I didn't expect that the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion was just good at talking. I'm really disappointed. It seems that you are not worthy of marrying the goddess. Oh, another bootlicker. After hearing this, Lin Fan was also suddenly enlightened and said helplessly, "You." Although Lan Feng didn't understand what the word liquor meant, he knew that the other party was insulting him. "Go ahead, I'll give you 3 moves." Lin Fan said lazily, yawning, full of disdain. "You can only talk nonsense, and soon I'll make you kneel down and beg for mercy." Lan Feng was insulted like this, and murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Although he could not see through the other party's strength, according to rumors, the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion was just a second-grade waste. "You are only at the 2nd level, how far can you cultivate? Even if you start practicing from the womb, you cannot defeat me." Lan Feng's cultivation exploded. A powerful sword intent emerged, and he descended from the sky with a jade sword in hand, like a swimming dragon. This sword is called Gi. When everyone saw it, they all exclaimed in surprise. One of the 3 swords of the Scarlet Cloud Sword sect. Gi, I heard that this sword was used to defeat Su Kuan last time. This sword is extremely lethal and highly concealed. If you are not careful, you will probably be stabbed into a bloody mess. It's bad that I hope Lin Fan won't die here today. Below, after Mu Qingxue heard this, worry unconsciously appeared in her beautiful eyes. Then he reacted and his expression was complicated. What was she thinking? Wouldn't it be a good thing for her if Lin Fan died? Why should she care about this shameless guy? No more than that. Lin Fan chuckled, his chaos double pupils emitting a faint light. With the blessing of his double pupils, the speed of everything would slow down. Even the fastest thing in the world would become as slow as a snail. He made a move, pinching the tip of the sword with 2 fingers. He had an extraordinary temperament and was calm and composed. The whole audience was in an uproar. Even Lin Zhan and others who were in the sky couldn't help but widen their eyes. Is this the ability of double pupils? They thought in disbelief. Lan Feng was even more shocked and was stunned that he caught the sword that he had practiced for 20 years. "This is the first move," Lin Fan said calmly. Then, Lan Feng reacted instantly, his figure flashed and he moved away. He looked a little unwilling, obviously very unconvinced. "Come again." The 4th move of the Scarlet Cloud Sword technique, the Burning Heaven Sword. After saying this, the jade sword in his hand turned into a lifelike fire dragon, bringing great power, and flew towards Lin Fan. After everyone felt this kind of power, their faces changed. This sword technique is the unique skill of the Red Sword God King. I didn't expect to teach it to him. Now Lin Fan is in trouble. The power of this sword has obviously reached the late stage of the spiritual sea. If he doesn't have other means, I'm afraid it will be difficult to resist. They shook their heads, obviously not optimistic about Lin Fan. Too weak. Facing the screen full of flames, Lin Fan had some disappointment in his eyes. Then his chaos double pupils activated and a breath that made everyone's heart palpitate appeared. What is this? Someone couldn't help but cry out after feeling it. I saw that purple divine light emanated from Lin Fan's double pupils, which summoned chaos and directly swallowed up the fire dragon, leaving no trace behind. Seeing this, Lan Feng's pupils shrank slightly, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Boom! The next moment, a purple fire dragon appeared in the chaos that it was extremely huge. Compared with Lan Feng's previous fire dragon, it was nothing. This purple fire dragon actually carried a hint of dragon power, and the aura on its body was extremely terrifying. Rushed directly towards Lan Feng at a very fast speed. Seeing this scene, I was dumbfounded and swallowed unconsciously. What a miraculous ability this is. When Lan Feng saw the purple dragon, he was stunned for a moment, as if he was frightened silly. Is this the dragon I released? At this moment, he already regretted it in his heart. What kind of pervert is the person opposite him? Lan Feng wanted to escape, but if this purple fire dragon touched him, he would definitely die. At this moment, a sword light descended from the sky and directly killed the purple fire dragon. Suddenly, smoke filled the air, and the aftereffects of the explosion spread throughout the surroundings. Lin Fan glanced over and spotted a graceful figure in the smoke. Another one? Looks like you all can't leave today. Lin Fan's eyes were cold as he thought to himself. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect there was another expert. The smoke dissipated, and a tall figure stood there. Lu Ruyan was wearing a green long skirt and holding a green sword. She had a graceful figure and elegant temperament, like a fairy descending to earth. After seeing this person, everyone's faces were shocked, as if they were very surprised. She'd asked the Scarlet Cloud Sword Sex Saintess Lu Ruyan. No wonder she was able to neutralize the young master's attack. She is the third-rank genius on the genius list, and has the 8th grade Sword Emperor's heart. I heard that Lu Ruyan is one of the 4 beauties in the world. After seeing her today, I found that her reputation is well-deserved. However, she just rescued Lan Feng, so I'm afraid it will be difficult for her to leave Moonlight Lotus Mansion today. The guests below were talking about it and shaking their heads with regret. Fellow Taoist, we are just exchanging ideas. Why do you have to kill him? Lu Ruyan said in a cold voice, looking at Lin Fan. Lan Feng was extremely excited when he found out that he was still alive and was rescued by the saint. He then stood up and tried to defend himself and throw the dirty water on Lin Fan. Thank you for saving me, Saint. If it weren't for today. Shut up. Lu Ruyan turned around, her eyes extremely cold, and interrupted directly. What a fool! Not only does he like to play tricks in the sect on weekdays, but he is also not honest here. It's really a waste of time to save this fool. When Lan Feng saw this pair of extremely cold eyes, he stopped talking and trembled in his heart. He had never seen the saint treat him like this before. After hearing her name, Lin Fan was still a little dazed, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Emperor Ruyan was indeed poor, scheming, and a green tea woman, but he had never been ugly. But after coming to his senses, he still said coldly, "To learn from each other? I never said it was a learning experience from the beginning to the end. Since he chose my wedding day to come and teach me, he must be my mortal enemy. If he doesn't die today, there is no need for the Scarlet Cloud Sword sect to exist." After hearing this, Lu Ruyan looked a little embarrassed. She knew that they were in the wrong and didn't know what to say for a moment. If she hadn't been thinking of her fellow disciples, she would not have saved Lan Feng this time. What conditions can calm your anger? Lu Ruyan asked, her voice pleasant and magnetic, a standard queen's voice. As for the conditions, Lin Fan's gaze was fixed on her delicate body, his eyes extremely aggressive. After seeing this, everyone shook their heads. It seemed that another one of the 4 beauties would be taken down by Lin Fan today. Impossible. If you want to target me, then just kill them. After hearing this, Lu Ruyan guessed what the other party was thinking. Her beautiful eyes were frosty as she spoke in a cold voice. After she finished speaking, she made way and no longer protected Lan Feng. However, if the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion starts a war against them for such a small matter, wouldn't it lower the dignity of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Her tone was cold, and there was confidence in her beautiful eyes. She was sure that the other party would not kill Lan Feng if Lin Fan really cared about Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Looking at the arrogant look of this woman, Lin Fan couldn't help but laugh out loud. At this moment, the system prompt sound appeared again in my mind. Option 1. Apologize to Lu Ruyan and others, and promise not to embarrass them again. Reward Lu Ruyan with 5 points of favorability, and obtain Lu Ruyan's original stockings. Option 2. Apologize to Lan Feng. Think that as the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion, he really shouldn't be so petty. Reward Lan Feng with a little favorability, and obtain a drop of true dragon blood. Option 3. Since you have given way, there is no reason for me not to kill you. Kill Lan Feng and obtain the Chaos Seed Blue Lotus Vision. After seeing these 3-line options, Lin Fan did not hesitate and directly chose 3. Not only is it fun, but you can also get a chance to show off, so why not do it? Apologizing to them is impossible in this life. Besides, is he really necessary to have these goodwill points? And that Lu Ruyan's original stockings actually using this to test the cadres. It's really abominable. Since you have already given way, there is no reason for me not to kill you. Lin Fan smiled. Afterwards, runes intertwined in his pupils and a divine light burst out from them, directly turning Lan Feng into a blood mist. You! Lu Ruyan's pupils shrank slightly. She couldn't believe that he actually dared to attack her. The whole audience was in an uproar, and everyone looked shocked. No one expected that Lan Feng would die in the end. You don't really think that I dare not kill? Lin Fan's expression was indifferent, as if he had killed an ant, without a trace of emotion. Seeing that the Chaos Seed Green Lotus had been awarded, he felt very satisfied. Lu Ruyan gritted his teeth and his face turned pale. He had killed Lan Feng this time and would definitely be held accountable by the sect leader after returning to the sect. Thinking of this, she wanted to turn around and leave, not wanting to communicate too much with this madman. Wait, did I say you can leave? At this moment, Lin Fan spoke again. I just want to leave because of moral blackmail. How ridiculous. Lu Ruyan came to her senses. Her beautiful eyes frosted, and she gritted her teeth and said, I have no grudge against you, so why can't I leave? Are you trying to embarrass a woman like me in public? You guessed right. Lin Fan smiled brilliantly, and then said, the people from the Scarlet Cloud Sword sect broke into the Moonlight Lotus Mansion without permission and interfered with my wedding. I suspect they have ulterior motives. Come on, arrest them. As soon as he finished speaking, a team of guards in golden armor appeared instantly. Their eyes were cold and their aura was as deep as the ocean. They instantly detained several people on the spot. Lin Fan was very satisfied when he saw this. I really give you face, don't I? You can come as you please and leave as you please. It's ridiculous. Before Lu Ruyan could even react, she was grabbed by several powerful men beside her. Her pretty face was pale, and she found it hard to believe that Lin Fan was so lawless and confused about right and wrong. Everyone sighed. They didn't expect the final result to be like this, being suppressed by Lin Fan with thunder. They couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. This is worthy of being the Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Even the sect disciples can be detained at will. You must know that in the Great Zhou Dynasty, the imperial court had no right to suppress these immortal sects, and even gave them great power. Just like that, Lu Ruyan was taken away in an embarrassed manner, and her cultivation was also sealed. Before leaving, she looked at Lin Fan deeply. Lin Fan saw that the farce was over, and he also said loudly, I have made a fool of myself today. I will drink a glass of wine as a punishment. After he finished speaking, he drank a glass by himself, looking relaxed and at ease. When everyone saw this, they toasted back and joked. Your Highness has extraordinary courage in suppressing the thieves. I admire you. Yes, that immortal disciple relied on the power given by the court, looked down on everyone, and did all kinds of bad things. Today, we are also relieved. After hearing everyone say this, Lin Fan also smiled. As expected, in this world of cultivating immortals, whoever has the bigger fist is the truth and the rule. The wedding banquet is proceeding as usual. At the dinner table, Lin Yu was delighted to see that his grandson's Taoist partner was the goddess Mu Qingxue. Come here, granddaughter-in-law. This is the quasi-saint demon dragon I hunted in the Northern Territory. Eating it can beautify your skin, and it will also be beneficial for improving your cultivation. Lin Yu said happily, and under Mu Qingxue's shocked eyes, he put it in her bowl. Mu Qingxue looked a little dazed. She didn't expect that not only would she meet this legendary saint today, but he would even pick up some food for her. But after realizing his name, her face turned red with embarrassment. Okay, thank you, Grandpa, she said after hesitating for a while. Mu Zichin and his mother, who were standing by, smiled when they saw this, but they were actually quite shocked as well. There is a huge gap in status between their Mu family and the Lin family. Under such circumstances, the Lin family can sit at the same table with them, which means they really treat them as relatives. What's more, they were sitting at the same table with the legendary saint of Dezhou. When they thought of this, they couldn't help but show a hint of excitement in their eyes. This was enough for them to brag about for a long time. After hearing this, Lin Yu's face, which looked like an old man, also showed a bright smile and was very happy. Okay, okay. Good granddaughter-in-law, since you have married into our Lin family, you are a member of our family. If this boy bullies you in the future, just tell me and I will help you teach him a lesson. His father doesn't dare to teach him a lesson, so does his grandfather dare not. Lin Fan smiled awkwardly, obviously a little afraid of Lin Yu, and said with a smile, "Ah, how could I bully my wife, right?" After he finished speaking, he glared at Mu Qingxue, and a hint of pleading appeared in his eyes. When Mu Qingxue saw this, the corners of her mouth lifted slightly, revealing a nice smile, with a playful look in her beautiful eyes. She had not expected that this arrogant man actually had such a side to him. This made her less wary and changed her opinion of him. She hesitated for a while, and under Lin Fan's pleading gaze, she chuckled and said, "He treated me very well and didn't bully me." After hearing this, Lin Fan secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this woman didn't say anything, but the look in her eyes just now was so good. I didn't expect that such a goddess would have such a side to her. Looks like I have to teach her a lesson in the bridal chamber tonight. After hearing this, Lin Yu nodded and said, "That's good. If this brat bullies you in the future, you must tell me." "Yeah." Mu Qingxue nodded obediently, with a faint smile in her beautiful eyes. Seeing this scene, Lin Fan couldn't help but feel touched. He didn't have such a happy family in his previous life, but fortunately, God let him come into this world. But the only regret is that he seems to have never seen his mother since he was born, and his father also avoids talking about it. Where did his mother go? Is she still alive? What happened when he was born? These questions lay in Lin Fan's mind one by one, like a nightmare that lingered for a long time. Forget it. I'll just improve my strength and then everything will become clear. Thinking of this, Lin Fan stopped thinking about it and celebrated with them. The night deepens. Inside the dim room, at this moment, a red figure was sitting on the bed, with a beautiful face beneath 3,000 silver threads. Mu Qingxue was a little nervous. Her slender white hands clenched tightly, and her white hair, which was emitting crystal light, was shaking from time to time, making people feel itchy. If this bastard comes in, should I obey him or not? Mu Qingxue's pretty face blushed a little as she thought to herself. Indeed, the original Lin Fan had only one shortcoming, which was his talent. Now that he has awakened his double pupils, his talent is even better than hers, and he seems really perfect. Soon, several footsteps were heard, and Mu Qingxue knew that Lin Fan had arrived. After Lin Fan came in, he saw Mu Qingxue sitting on the bed. She was wearing a red dress and her beautiful face was made of just the right amount of light makeup. She was like a bright rose, making people want to pick her. For a moment, under the blessing of this dim light, Lin Fan couldn't help but be dazed. Then, looking at the soft red lips, he couldn't help but kiss them directly. Mu Qingxue's eyes were a little shocked. Why did this guy just kiss her directly? This was her first kiss. Soon, the candlelight was extinguished by Lin Fan. Amidst the violent panting, Mu Qingxue could be faintly heard saying, "Asshole, if you betray me in this life, I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth." 10,000 words omitted here. Early morning. A hint of paleness gradually emerged in the sky, and the faint light of morning light illuminated the red plum blossoms scattered across the bed, gorgeous and deep red. Lin Fan opened his eyes, but found that the beauty beside him had already left. He felt a ball of ice blue gas in his body, which was very beneficial to his body. Is this Mu Qingxue's Yuan? In addition, he also discovered that his cultivation had also leaped from the early stage of Purple Mansion to the middle stage of Purple Mansion. Of course, his fighting power also changed dramatically, and he felt that he could defeat hundreds of his previous selves. Each realm is divided into 4 stages: early, middle, late, and peak. From this perspective, he would be very close to the next level. Thinking of this, a smile appeared on his face. Ding! First day of your wedding, are you ready to sign in? At this moment, a cold reminder sounded. Lin Fan reacted and quickly responded, "Sign in." Ding! The secret of rewarding the trip. After hearing this, Lin Fan's eyes were filled with shock. It turned out to be the secret of the trip. The 9-character secret is a supreme skill, and the secret of action has the ultimate speed in the world, and can even transcend the limits of realms. This is good. He has not yet cultivated a strong body technique in terms of speed. If he has the secret of walking, he can make up for this shortcoming. After coming to his senses, Lin Fan also walked out of the house. He did not forget that he still had important things to do today. He walked to an open area, set up a barrier, and then threw the ring that Mu Lingyun had in his hand to the ground. "Senior, why don't you come out and see me?" Lin Fan spoke, a faint light emanating from his double pupils, as if he could see through everything in the world. He did not forget that Mu Lingyun's opportunity was there. With a quick glance, he could see that there was a soul in the ring. After these words were spoken, the shadow hiding in the ring remained unmoved, with a sarcastic smile on his face. "Boy, you are too young to fight with me. You are dreaming if you want to trick me out." His name is Hong Tian. He is the residual soul of a top alchemist in central Shenzhou. By chance, he ended up in Mu Lingyun's ring. After absorbing spiritual energy for several years, he successfully woke up. After a few breaths, there was still no response from the ring, and Lin Fan couldn't help but show some anger on his face. "Do you really think that I can't destroy you if you hide in the ring? Don't force me to destroy this ring and leave you with no place to hide." After hearing this, Hong Tian showed disdain on his face. Others didn't know about this ring, but didn't he? It was made of meteorite from the sky. He was just a little Purple Mansion Realm Junior, so he had to use his head to open it. No. When did he reach the Purple Mansion Realm? Wasn't he still in the spiritual sea the day before yesterday? Hong Tian seemed to have thought of something, and the smile on his lips froze. Holy shit. He broke through from the spiritual sea to the middle stage of the Purple Mansion in one day? What kind of cultivation speed is this? Even a 9th-grade talent wouldn't be so incredible. After seeing this, Lin Fan outside also revealed a strange smile. "You don't want to come out, right? Okay, you want to stay in this turtle shell for the rest of your life, right? There is a divine fire in the chaos double pupils that can burn everything in the world. It is called the 9 Netherworld Fire and ranks at the top of the list of strange fires." "Amadeus," Lin Fan said immaturely. Then, an extremely terrifying black flame was generated, burning fiercely and directly attached to the ring. As the 9 Netherworld Fire appeared, the phantom inside jumped out directly, with an extremely pale face. When Lin Fan saw it, he also smiled with satisfaction. "It's finally out. You shameless brat. How dare you treat me like this? Do you know who I am?" Hong Tian said angrily. He was still a little frightened. He could feel that this flame could not only burn through the ring, but even burn the soul. Then he seemed to have thought of something and said proudly, "Since you have gone to great lengths to come to see me, you want me to give you some advice that in this case, since you have injured my disciple, you can cripple your own arms and then kowtow to me a few times. I will consider giving you some advice." Seeing him being so arrogant, Lin Fan smiled, and his eyes gradually turned cold. "You want me to cripple my arms? You want me to kowtow to you? You are not worthy. I originally wanted to take advantage of him and spare his life, but since you are so ignorant, you'd better die again." 9 Netherworld Fire, Lin Fan said, and then a brighter light burst out from his pupils. The sky was filled with black flames, as if to burn the entire world, and directly surrounded Hong Tian. "How dare you? Stop now and take back these evil flames." Hong Tian's pupils shrank slightly. He couldn't believe that this guy actually dared to burn him. Then, when he saw the double pupils, he understood everything instantly. It turned out to be the legendary double pupils. "Ah! It hurts so much. Stop burning me. I'm going to die." Hong Tian's phantom wailed in pain. These flames were really too terrifying. He didn't expect that Lin Fan would really kill him. This was not the right reaction. Shouldn't they all be kneeling on the ground to express their gratitude to me? How come the roles are reversed? Lin Fan looked indifferent as he quietly watched the phantom being cooked by the 9 Netherworld Fire. "Boy, I was wrong. Stop now or I will really die." Hong Tian yelled, and his shadow became more and more transparent, as if it was about to disappear. Lin Fan said nothing and continued to watch, but he knew that this was not the limit. There was a flash of shock in Hong Tian's eyes. Could it be that he had discovered this? That's right. There was still a little soul power stored in his soul, which was enough for him to use a forbidden technique to attack Lin Fan's consciousness and replace him. Damn it. If this continues, he will really die. Lin Fan sneered, looking at the shadow that was about to disappear and now became somewhat solid. He knew that this old man had ulterior motives. Soon, fear finally appeared in Hong Tian's eyes, because his soul power was really about to be exhausted, and then he would really die. I'm scared. I'm scared. Don't kill me. I'm willing to tell you everything I know. Hong Tian knelt on the ground with a plop and begged. After seeing this, Lin Fan also retracted a lot of the flames and said in a cold voice, "Open your consciousness and let me search your soul. If you are not dead, I will spare your life." He is not stupid. If this old Deng has any backup plan, then he will be finished, so it is safer to search his soul. Just send in a ray of divine thought and you will know everything. After hearing this, Hong Tian looked a little embarrassed. He didn't expect that he would be searched by a young boy. However, he was completely exhausted and had no ability to resist. In order to survive, he gritted his teeth and hesitated for a while, but finally opened his spiritual sense. Although soul-searching is very dangerous for the person being cast the spell, there is no time to think about it now. Seeing this, Lin Fan didn't waste any time and directly released a divine thought into it. Ah! Hong Tian's face showed a look of pain, as if his entire head was drilled by electricity, causing pain that tore his soul apart. After a few breaths, Lin Fan withdrew his mind, looking extremely satisfied. It was obvious that he had learned a lot of important information. Hong Tian was panting, and the shadow became more and more vague, as if it was about to disappear. The soul search is over. Boy, you should keep your promise and spare my life. After hearing this, Lin Fan also revealed a cold smile. Haven't you heard that villains always regret their actions? Old Biden, you'd better go to hell. You lied to me. Hong Tian widened his eyes and looked at him with resentment. Lin Fan ignored it and struck directly, completely shattering the soul. After Lin Fan absorbed the memories, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. As expected of a top-notch alchemist, these ancient elixirs have been lost for a long time, and you have given me all of them at a bargain price, as well as the alchemy skills. Mu Lingyun, you are really a leek so green that it's dripping with oil. I have to slowly slaughter you. Thinking of this, a hint of deep meaning appeared in his eyes. In Hong Tian's memory, he learned that Mu Lingyun's next step would be to go to Tianyuan Academy and seize the Tianyuan spiritual steel. There was an incredible skill in it. As for the Tianyuan Academy, he had some impression of it in his mind. It was founded by Confucius Daoyun. One of the four sages of the Great Zhou Dynasty was a place where geniuses gathered and cultivated many outstanding talents for the Great Zhou. Almost all the famous strong men today came from Tianyuan Academy, which is enough to show the terrifying way they train their disciples. There had been royal disciples who took advantage of their power to bully others in the academy, but they were ruthlessly expelled by the dean, Kong Sheng, without any mercy at all. As a result, the reputation of Tianyuan Academy rose, and it was known as a holy place for poor disciples. Ding! Task released. Go to Tianyuan Academy to sign in. At this time, a cold reminder sounded. After hearing this, Lin Fan was stunned for a moment. Then he reacted and a smile appeared on his face. He was planning to go to Tianyuan Academy, but he didn't expect the system to ask him to sign in. It seems that he really has to go to Tianyuan Academy this time. I don't know what Mu Lingyun's expression will be when he sees him at that time. The royal family of the imperial capital. Inside the room, a familiar figure was lying unconscious on the bed. His right hand was wrapped in white cloth and blood could be seen oozing out of it. Apparently, his right hand had been chopped off. That's right, this person is Mu Lingyun. At this moment, he was sweating profusely. As if he was experiencing a nightmare, he suddenly opened his eyes and roared, "Lin Fan, I'm going to kill you." When the servant who was waiting nearby saw this, his pupils shrank slightly and he hurriedly ran to tell the master of the house. After Mu Lingyun woke up, he saw the familiar environment and thought it was a false alarm. It was not until he saw his empty right hand that he realized it was not a dream. "Ah, my right hand, you deserve to die. Lin Fan, if I don't kill you in this life, I, Mu Lingyun, will not be a human being." Mu Lingyun roared with bloodshot eyes. What he cares about is not his right hand, but the ring on his right hand. That ring is his greatest reliance for his rise. Now that it has been taken away by Lin Fan, how can he become so strong? The head of the Wang family, who was coming over, couldn't help but frown after hearing the ghost cry. His eyes were extremely cold. "Mu Lingyun, do you admit your guilt?" Wang Xiong smashed the door with one palm, walked in and looked at Mu Lingyun coldly, suppressing his anger. Everyone in the Wang family also rushed over after hearing the noise, and they all looked at him with cold eyes. "What crime have I committed?" Mu Lingyun was stunned by the roar and looked at everyone in confusion. "You fucking killed my daughter, and now you're pretending to have amnesia, right?" Wang Xiong said angrily, his cultivation bursting out, and pressure like the sea poured directly towards him. After hearing this, Mu Lingyun realized that the girl who called him Brother Outyin all day long seemed to be gone. Thinking of this, his face turned pale and he felt extremely resentful towards Lin Fan. "Master, please listen to my explanation," Mu Lingyun said hurriedly, trying to defend himself. Now his tendons and veins are broken, he has no skills at all, and he has to rely on the Wang family. Otherwise, he won't be able to make a comeback. "I'll explain to your mother, you beast. If you weren't such an idiot and insisted on pretending to be awesome, and taking my daughter with you, would Yu Xuan be enslaved?" The moment Mu Lingyun finished speaking, Wang Xiong punched him and knocked him against the wall. Mu Lingyun, who had just recovered a little, was hit by a punch and felt even worse than before. It seemed that his internal organs were shattered. He was pale and spitting out blood, and he seemed to not understand why he was being treated like this. Wang Xiong used to be smiling and wanted to match him with Wang Yuxuan, but now he is like a different person. Wang Xiong was furious and seemed still unsatisfied. Just when he was about to end his life with a punch, a ghostly figure stood out. Old Wang stopped him, shook his head, and advised, "Forget it. Now that he is disabled and Yuxuan has been captured by Lin Fan, killing him won't solve anything. Besides, I am also somewhat responsible for this matter. If you want to blame someone, blame me." After hearing this, the anger on Wang Xiong's face eased a little, but he still felt unsatisfied. After seeing this, Mu Lingyun breathed a sigh of relief, and then looked at Wang Xiong with a hint of gloom in his eyes. "Old man, isn't it just that you lost a daughter? Besides, you are not dead. If I become stronger in the future, I will kill you. How dare you attack me? The most urgent thing is to go and inquire about the situation in Moonlight Lotus Mansion and see how to get Yuxuan back." Old Wang continued, "You are right, but Mu Lingyun, you still have to give me an explanation." Wang Xiong said angrily. The eyes of everyone in the Wang family also fell on him at this time. Without a good explanation, it would be difficult to convince everyone. After hearing this, Elder Wang hesitated for a while and said, "Deem Mu Lingyun's status as a guest elder useless. From today on, expel him from the Wang family and never allow him to come again." When these words were spoken, Mu Lingyun was struck by lightning and his face was filled with shock. He didn't expect that the person he once saved would speak so cruelly. At this moment, a thought suddenly came into his mind. The thought of killing them all. After hearing this, everyone nodded in satisfaction. Seeing this, Mu Lingyun could only grit his teeth and glance coldly at everyone present, as if he wanted to remember their appearance so that he could take revenge on them in the future. "What are you looking at? You are such an idiot. You have no real ability, but you have to pretend. Even if this kind of treatment is cured, it will still make you drool. You've hit a wall this time, haven't you? You used to be pretty crazy, right?" After seeing this, these disciples mocked him mercilessly. After hearing this, Mu Lingyun looked extremely embarrassed and his face turned red, as if the scar in his heart was brought up again. This attitude of the crowd made him feel very disappointed, and he wanted to pick up a knife and kill them all. Just wait for me. Things may change over time. Don't look down on a young man just because he is poor. Mu Lingyun said coldly, then quickened his pace, staggered, and left the palace in a panic as if he was escaping. At this moment, his hatred for Lin Fan has reached its peak, and he wants to chop him into pieces. If it weren't for him, would he have fallen to this point? It's all because of you, Lin Fan. At this moment, he already had a plan in his mind. He buried a precious medicine in the Silver Moon Mountains, which was enough to bring him back to his peak. After his body recovered, he would go to Tianyuan Academy, where there was an opportunity that was enough for him to change his destiny. When that time comes, I won't let any of you ungrateful bastards go. Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Why? I asked you to give me a massage, but you, a little maid, don't seem to want to. In the courtyard, Lin Fan sat on the armchair, looking at Wang Yuxuan, who was wearing a maid outfit, and teased her. Wang Yuxuan gritted her teeth. She wore a pair of cat ears on her black hair, which matched her pure and lovely face and was very attractive, especially that pair of black silk jade feet, which exudes a crystal light and looks extremely silky. Lin Fan spoke again, seeming a little dissatisfied. Wang Yuxuan slowly walked over upon seeing this, and placed her delicate hands on his shoulders, kneading them gently. Her beautiful eyes were filled with anger, but she didn't dare show it, and she looked sulky. It turned out that since he brought Wang Yuxuan back the day before, he sent someone to teach her how to become a qualified maid. And now, 2 days later, Wang Yuxuan has successfully graduated from the Maid Academy. Of course, at this moment, she was naturally full of resentment towards Lin Fan. Not bad. Not bad. It seems that you have learned a lot in the past 2 days. Your technique is better than those of the girls in the brothels outside. It makes me feel refreshed. Lin Fan praised, not caring about her feelings at all. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan clenched her teeth even tighter and wanted to hit him with a hammer. You're such a jerk for comparing me to a prostitute. Thinking of this, she massaged harder. But having said that, this dress suits you very well. It's worth it for me to spend 2 spirit crystals to customize it for you. Lin Fan couldn't help but sigh as he smelled the girl's fragrance. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes were filled with shock. The outfit she was wearing actually cost 2 spirit crystals. What is a spirit crystal? It is equivalent to 20 million spirit stones. Her usual pocket money is only 10,000 spirit stones. If she were asked to buy this, it would take her forever. So rich, Wang Yuxuan complained in a low voice. I thought I was a rich girl, but compared to this person, I am nothing. Lin Fan didn't take it seriously after hearing this. Money is meant to be spent. Otherwise, what's the meaning of its existence? After hearing such inhumane remarks, Wang Yuxuan was so upset that she didn't want to talk. For some reason, after becoming Lin Fan's maid, she seemed to hate him less. Looking at the young man in front of her with an extremely outstanding temperament and appearance, she couldn't help but think of Mu Lingyun. Now that Mu Lingyun's tendons and veins are damaged, he will not be able to practice cultivation in this life. I hope he can be an ordinary person in the future. She has also fallen to become Lin Fan's maid. In the future, they are destined not to be people of the same world. After all, people still have to look forward. I just don't know how anxious the family will be now that they know that she was taken away by Lin Fan. Thinking of this, she became a little worried. What's wrong? Are you missing home? Lin Fan spoke as if he could sense what she was thinking. Wang Yuxuan didn't say anything and continued to massage him silently. I'm not an unreasonable person. If you behave well in the future, I will let you go back. Lin Fan continued, leaving her a little hope. After Wang Yuxuan heard this, her beautiful eyes brightened up and she was very surprised. Just then, a voice came from outside. Young master, the Red Sword God King wants to see you. He is in the hall now. After hearing this, Lin Fan also stood up and brushed his white robe. Let's go. Follow me to meet this God King. Seeing this, Wang Yuxuan's pupils shrank slightly. A divine king actually asked to see Lin Fan. Is this the strength of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? What's more, it is the Qiyun sword sect, a top sect that is extremely famous in the Great Zhou. In the hall, the Red Sword God King was a little nervous at the moment and seemed a little uneasy sitting in front of these people. As a peerless figure in white arrived, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally here. This time is really too hard to bear. Lin Fan was dressed in white, with an extraordinary temperament and eyes like stars, like a banished immortal. At this moment, he has retracted his double pupils, revealing eyes like those of ordinary people. And behind him, Wang Yuxuan's petite figure followed closely. Upon seeing this, the Red Sword God King took a deep breath and said, "I came here today to make compensation." When these words were spoken, everyone was somewhat shocked. I originally thought he was here to cause trouble, but I didn't expect he was actually here to apologize. Even though your disciples were killed, you are not angry at all. Oh. Lin Fan was also a little surprised when he saw this. It's my fault that I didn't discipline my disciples well. The young master's wedding a few days ago disturbed your mood. Lan Feng was killed by the young master because of his own fault. It's reasonable that the others were locked up by the young master. The Red Sword God King spoke very sincerely. It's not that he is ruthless, but Lan Feng was trained by the previous sect master and is not his direct disciple. His death will not cause any loss to the sect. And Lu Ruyan is the most important one. She has the 8th grade talent of the Sword Emperor and is a genius with extraordinary talent in the entire Great Zhou. Today, this is a little gift from me that I hope you can forgive me, young master. The Red Sword God King took out the apology and placed it on the ground. After Lin Fan took a quick look, he didn't find anything particularly amazing. As for the sword technique book that was regarded as the sect's unique skill by the Red Sword God King, he even took out the first volume. At this moment, Wang Yuxuan behind him saw this and a hint of desire appeared in her eyes. There is an item inside called 3 flower lotuses, which is particularly suitable for her jade spirit body. But even so, she didn't dare to say anything, because these things were not something she could touch. Lin Zhan, who was above, was a little shocked when he saw this. He actually took out the sect's unique skills, which showed his sincerity. Those who don't know might think this is a token of allegiance, an attempt to join the Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Then, the Red Sword God King said, "I have another favor to ask of you. The chaotic world is approaching, and the entire Great Zhou has entered its old age. I wonder if Moonlight Lotus Mansion is still in need of affiliated forces?" "Oh, you mean you want to join Moonlight Lotus Mansion?" Lin Fan became interested at this time. Now that he has shown his talent, it is time to build up his own power. "That's right, I just don't know." The Red Sword God King continued. "Okay, you are allowed to join, but the prerequisite is that you have to follow my son." At this time, Lin Zhan also saw it. There was a look of joy on the face of the Red Sword God King. If he could join the behemoth Moonlight Lotus Mansion, he would not have to be restricted by the imperial court in the future. This is a great thing for them. "Let go of Ling Hai and let me plant the mark," Lin Fan said directly in a simple and rough manner. He didn't want to be stabbed in the back by his own forces. "Okay. But before that, I want to see the young master's double pupils." The Red Sword God King hesitated for a moment and said through gritted teeth. He wanted to see if Lin Fan was worthy of him following. He could also see that Lin Fan did not reveal his chaos double pupils at this moment. After he finished speaking, Lin Fan no longer concealed his aura. His pupils split into 2 like a vast galaxy with the Great Tao evolving inside. An aura burst out that was enough to shake the heavens and the earth, and runes intertwined around his body, shining extremely brightly, like a young king. The Red Sword God King opened his eyes wide. His pupils shrank slightly, that he saw that the pair of pupils were a little dazed, as if they had escaped into nothingness, that he felt weak all over, and a feeling of palpitations spread through his body. He couldn't help but have an urge to kneel down. He is a powerful God King, yet he is also affected when facing double pupils. What a terrifying talent this is. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but kneel down on one knee, and was completely convinced. "I am Qi Shao, and I am willing to go through fire and water for you. young master. When Lin Fan saw it, he also smiled with satisfaction. Wang Yuxuan's pretty face behind him was a little pale at the moment, and her eyes showed shock. This bastard's chaos double pupils are so powerful. Thinking of this, she felt even more depressed. It seemed that Brother Outyan's wish for revenge would never be fulfilled in this lifetime. Following me is the best choice you can make in your life. In the future, I will definitely reach the top, rule the world, and become the being above all living beings. Lin Fan had an indifferent expression, a disdainful look in his eyes, and spoke with an air of dominance. At this moment, the dark yellow energy in the sky burst out. The colorful divine light was brilliant, and the sound of the Tao resonated. Everyone was shocked. This was actually the resonance of heaven. Those who are blessed by heaven will surely achieve great things in the future. I didn't expect that Lin Fan's words would cause such a sensation. After Qi Xiao saw this, his eyes were filled with admiration, and it was obvious that he was completely convinced. Lin Fan's expression was indifferent, and he then retracted his double pupils. After all, this vision was too huge, which was not conducive to his villain style, and it would also cause unnecessary trouble if he went out on weekdays. Although he is not afraid, he still feels a little annoyed after dealing with it too many times. In that case, Qi Xiao, go and bring Lu Ruyan and the others back. Yes. Seeing his back, Lin Fan's eyes showed some inexplicable meaning. I don't know how Lu Ruyan would react when she finds out that the sect has been taken under my command. After everyone left, Lin and his son were the only ones left in the hall. You said you were going to Tianyuan Academy? Lin Zhan asked, seeming a little shocked. Go have some fun and do something while you're at it. Lin Fan said casually, hiding something. Of course, he couldn't tell everyone what was in his mind about the system. After all, it was of vital importance. Lin Zhan smiled after hearing this, and then said, You two are really of the same character. Mu Qingxue came to me this morning and told me that she was going to Tianyuan Academy. I guess she has already left by now. I didn't expect that you would go too. After saying this, Lin Fan felt a little surprised. She was also going to Tianyuan Academy? Looking at her expression, I think she had planned this a long time ago. It just so happened that Tianyuan Academy started recruiting new disciples these days, so I allowed her to do it. Lin Zhan continued, took a sip of tea and said with a smile, By the way, she also asked me to tell you that she wants to become stronger and catch up with you. After hearing this, Lin Fan suddenly realized something and then a smile appeared on his face. Are you sure that they didn't have sex that day and this little girl is just making up an excuse out of shyness? However, it might be difficult to catch up with my husband. Since you want to go, it just so happens that our Moonlight Lotus Mansion has quotas for Tianyuan Academy every year. You can set off tomorrow. How about it? As for Tianyuan Academy, I will give them a heads up in advance. Lin Zhan pondered for a while and then spoke. Just follow my father's instructions on everything. Lin Fan nodded and said with a smile, It feels different to have a background like this. Everything can be handled for you. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, it was already a few days later. An enormous black flying boat streaked across the sky, with clouds billowing and divine light shining, causing people passing by on the road to talk about it. Is this the person from that powerful force who has appeared again? This flying boat is really shocking. The great man sitting up there is probably someone we will never be able to reach in our lifetime. Look, the flag above seems to have the words Tianyuan written on it. Hiss! Someone exclaimed loudly, waking everyone up. Everyone looked shocked and then they looked enlightened. It turns out that they are from Moonlight Lotus Mansion. That's not surprising. Now, in the Great Zhou, they are probably the only ones who can be so generous. Everyone's eyes were filled with envy and fear at the same time. On the flying boat, these spiritual grapes are so sweet and delicious, and they are very white. Lin Fan was lying there with a comfortable look on his face, and in front of him, Wang Yuxuan, who was wearing a cat-girl-made outfit, was putting the spiritual fruit from the plate into his mouth. Looking at the beautiful scenery in front of him, Lin Fan couldn't help but sigh. After Wang Yuxuan heard this, a trace of doubt flashed across her innocent and charming face. Aren't grapes purple? Lin Fan was just about to say something naughty when a cold reminder sounded. On the 10th day of the wedding, I will be rewarded with a divine skill, the divine elephant prison suppression power. After hearing this, Lin Fan smiled that he had been signing in useless things for the past few days. But today he finally got something good. As the system finished speaking, a stream of profound martial arts mantras poured into Lin Fan's mind like a torrent. The divine elephant suppresses the prison, uses qi to attract spirits, and uses spirits to form an image. With every move, the power of the divine elephant gathers in one body, 100,000 particles. Every particle is comparable to a divine elephant. If one awakens 100,000 particles, the power of 100,000 divine elephants will be added to the body, and the physical body will reach an extremely terrifying level. With one punch, mountains and seas are split, the sky and earth collapse, the stars are shattered, the sun and the moon are twisted, all in a single thought. The divine elephant prison-suppressing power is truly a powerful technique. Even in Tianyuan Prefecture, such a body-refining method is rare. Lin Fan secretly sighed. For him at the moment, although his chaos double pupils give people a sense of oppression, his foundation is still weak. If he can comprehend the power of the divine elephant to suppress the prison, this huge deficiency will be made up for. Only then can he be a perfect pentagonal warrior. Thinking of this, Lin Fan sat cross-legged on the ground and began to comprehend. When Wang Yuxuan saw this, her beautiful eyes lit up. She put away the fruit plate in her hand and watched him practice quietly. This is the first time I have seen Lin Fan practicing so seriously in all these days. He was so careless before that I thought this bastard didn't practice. At this moment, Lin Fan has devoted himself to cultivation wholeheartedly. Boom! Soon, Lin Fan felt that the particles in his body were breaking apart, as if a giant elephant had awakened, roared to the sky, and blasted down the stars. He continued to practice, and the golden blood energy rose directly into the air, transforming into a giant golden elephant, suppressing the heaven and earth. Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes widened in shock. What kind of skill is this? Why have I never seen it before? At this moment, above the sky, there was a graceful figure looking at Lin Fan. She wore a ghost mask, and her aura was so shocking that even the void was trembling. When her eyes opened and closed, there were stars flowing. Even Lin Yu, the strongest in the Great Zhou, did not have such a terrifying aura. However, at this moment, her pair of beautiful eyes, like autumn water, did not contain a trace of malice, but seemed to contain a kind of doting look. As expected of that person's son, the fluctuations in his cultivation are so great. She sighed softly, as if she had thought of something. As soon as she finished speaking, the woman disappeared into the void, as if she had never appeared. In the void, not far from the flying boat, there were 10 powerful men in black robes. They had cold and cruel eyes and wore masks on their faces, as if they were waiting for something. Sir, why hasn't the flying boat from Moonlight Lotus Mansion arrived yet? An old man in a black robe spoke and looked at the man in the lead. The black-robed man at the head waved his hand and said nonchalantly, "Why rush? Lin Fan will die sooner or later. He will die anyway." That's right, I calculated the time, and they will be here almost today. Another person sneered. That's right, these people were none other than the heavenly rank assassins sent by the king of the Great Zhou to assassinate Lin Fan. Each of them was extremely powerful and were all Purple Mansion realm powerhouses. The person in the lead has already reached the peak of Purple Mansion and is only one step away from reaching the realm of great power. Such a grand ceremony also shows that King Zhou is determined to kill Lin Fan. If the intelligence above is correct, Lin Fan only brought a few Purple Mansion realm guards with him this time. These people can be easily dealt with by us. The leader said coldly, his eyes extremely cold. That's right. Speaking of it, the Moonlight Lotus Mansion really looks down on us, doesn't it? It only sent a few Purple Mansion realm cultivators. A short black-robed man behind him echoed. It's hard to say. Moonlight Lotus Mansion is very secretive. It's possible that this news is wrong. We should always be vigilant. The leader continued. Even if there is a powerful one, so what? We can use a combined attack formation to surround him, and Lin Fan's head will be easily captured. The others also echoed. But I heard that Lin Fan seems to have awakened the legendary double pupils. It sounds very magical, right? You believe this? That loser can awaken his double pupils. I will stand upside down and drink urine on the spot. Even if he awakens, so what? He is only at the chi refining stage. Can he reach the purple palace overnight? These black robes showed disdain on their faces and spoke in low voices. And it wasn't long before they started talking again. Yes, but it is really good that he accepted the young lady from the Wang family. If I kill Lin Fan later, I will have some fun with her. You are really a pervert. I am different. I am going to play with Lin Fan's body later. I heard that he has a fair complexion. Just thinking about it makes me excited. He is also Lin Zhan's son. Third brother, you are such a disgusting guy. Don't target us men. Old four, you are joking. Who would like you? You look so ugly. Everyone was talking one after another, with evil lights flashing in their eyes. At this time, the leader also spoke up. If we succeed this time and hijack the flying boat of Moonlight Lotus Mansion, it will be a huge profit. It is a priceless thing, enough for us to exchange for it even if we complete missions for a lifetime. After hearing this, everyone's faces lit up and their eyes were filled with greed. Since ancient times, who would dare to kill someone from Moonlight Lotus Mansion, let alone the son of Lin Zhan, the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Only we, the Shadow Guards, dare to do this. If we succeed, we will have eliminated a threat to the people. This will be a feat that will shock the entire Great Zhou. The leader kept feeding them chicken soup. Here they come. Here they come. At this moment, someone whispered that not far in front of them, there was a huge black flying boat slowly approaching. As soon as these words were spoken, these black-robed warriors disappeared into the clouds and lay in ambush. On the flying boat, Lin Fan opened his eyes. His chaos double pupils seemed to be able to tear the sky and earth apart, bursting out with a faint light, and the golden energy and blood in his body also reached a limit. Is this the divine elephant purgatory power? It is indeed powerful. Lin Fan said to himself, feeling the changes in his body. At this moment, he has activated tens of millions of particles and has reached a terrifying level of strength of tens of millions of pounds. In other words, relying solely on physical strength, he has already reached the peak of the Purple Mansion realm, and is even approaching the level of a great power. This is a qualitative leap. He even dared to say that at the same level, his physical body was absolutely invincible. Wang Yuxuan, who was standing by, also opened her eyes after she felt that he had finished practicing. Master, have you finished your training? Wang Yuxuan spoke naturally. After these few days of getting along, she has gotten used to calling him master, because if she doesn't call him master, she will be spanked by this bastard. Lin Fan nodded slightly. He only needed a battle to test his current strength. He came outside and saw the sky gradually darkening and the bright moon rising, and he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Does the time spent in cultivation pass so quickly? Young master. When the guards outside saw Lin Fan coming out in white, they greeted him respectfully. Lin Fan nodded in response. Those 10 killers should be here soon, right? Lin Fan thought to himself. A smile appeared on his lips. Just before coming, Moonlight Lotus Mansion had already received news that the Imperial Court would send 10 Purple Mansion realm assassins to assassinate him. Fortunately, my father deliberately let the news spread, only telling the outside world that there were 3 Purple Mansion realm guards accompanying him. Actually, this is not the case. There are really only 3 people in the Purple Mansion realm in this flying boat, but he has a protector, a quasi-saint protector, who is enough for him to travel across the entire Great Zhou. No, the entire Eastern Shenzhou. Young master, we are very close. Those 10 heaven-level assassins are only 100 miles away from the flying boat. They will arrive in a few breaths. Oh, you need me to take action to deal with them? A voice transmission sounded in Lin Fan's mind. Master Mu, there is no need for you to take action. I can suppress only 10 purple palaces by myself. This is also a good opportunity for me to test my strength. Lin Fan responded while looking at the clouds in the sky. I understand. After hearing this, Lin Fan stopped talking. His eyes were deep, and his chaos double pupils emitted an enchanting light, as if he could see through the misty sea of clouds. Here I come. He had a smile on his face, his expression indifferent. Boom! An extremely loud explosion sounded. The flying boat was shaking a little, obviously someone was attacking it. Enemy attack! Protect the young master. Soon, a guard reacted and spoke loudly. Two figures flew out from behind and came in front of Lin Fan. Young master, it's dangerous here. Let's quickly go to the rear and open the flying boat formation. An elderly guard said in a low voice with an anxious look on his face. They never imagined that someone would want to assassinate the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. Too late. At this moment, an arrogant voice came from the sea of clouds. Immediately afterwards, dozens of black figures gradually appeared in front of everyone. They were dressed in black robes and had a strong aura, obviously coming prepared. The speaker was the leader. His eyes were cold and he scanned the crowd like a poisonous snake. At the same time, the aura he exuded was the most powerful among the 10. A total of 10 Purple Mansion Realm Masters came to assassinate Lin Fan. After seeing this, the 3 guards' faces changed and their eyes were filled with solemnity. There are actually 10 people in the Purple Mansion realm, the old guard said in shock. At this moment, Wang Yuxuan, who came out from behind, saw this scene and her pupils shrank slightly. Is this someone trying to assassinate the bastard? Thinking of this, she felt inexplicably nervous and a little worried about Lin Fan. Oh, I didn't expect that there were only 3 Purple Mansion realm people on the flying boat. It seems that the intelligence this time is correct. When the leader saw the last figure appear, he felt relieved and laughed. We are going to make a lot of money this time. At this moment, they couldn't help but laugh, as if they had already defeated Lin Fan and the others. After hearing this, the 3 guards turned even paler. They thought the other party knew all their information. They were afraid that they would not be able to escape this time. Who are you? How dare you assassinate the young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Aren't you afraid of retaliation? A guard stood up and spoke loudly, trying to scare the other party away with the name of Moonlight Lotus Mansion. I came here to kill you, of course I have the confidence. It's ridiculous that a mere Moonlight Lotus Mansion wants to scare us away. The leader said loudly and then continued. As for the reason for killing you, it's because your young master offended someone he shouldn't have offended. The king of Dezhou ordered you to come and kill me, right? At this moment, Lin Fan spoke. His expression was calm, his eyes were playful, and he looked calm and composed. After hearing this, the leader's face changed, and then he laughed and said, Since you have guessed it, I might as well tell you that it was the king of the Great Zhou who sent us here. So what? You will die here today anyway. After these words were spoken, the guards were shocked. Some of them were not expecting this. The king of Great Zhou actually wants to kill the young master? And Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes widened even more, as if she had heard something shocking. Then her eyes were filled with nervousness again. Doesn't that mean that these assassins are not very strong? So what should this bastard do? But the information you received seems to be false. What a pity. Lin Fan sighed, as if he was mourning for them. Fake, what fake? Your flying boat only has 3 Purple Mansion Realm Masters. Can you give me another one? The leader was a little confused, then sneered. Boss, why waste your breath on them? They are all dying anyway. Let's just kill them. I am very annoyed by this kid's attitude. I want to see him in despair later. Another man in black robes spoke gloomily. After hearing this, the leader nodded and said, That's right, second brother. What you said makes sense, let's do it. As soon as those words fell, 10 of them simultaneously burst out with their cultivation, displaying the aura of the Purple Mansion realm unreservedly in front of everyone, and they all attacked. We will fight to the death today to protect the young master. Young master, please run away. The old guard made the decision immediately and shouted. After hearing this, the other 2 guards also burst into power. Their eyes turned red, and they were ready to fight with them. You are right, I can really give you a purple mansion realm. Lin Fan sneered, then stopped the guards. He no longer concealed his aura, and a terrifying light burst out from his eyes. You are actually Zifu? The black-clothed leader was horrified and shocked after feeling it. Lin Fan remained silent, standing in the void, his white clothes rustling, runes intertwined in his pupils, and his aura amplified to an extremely terrifying, like a young king. I will fight 10 of you alone. He spoke, his eyes looking arrogant and with an invincible aura. As soon as these words were spoken, the faces of those in black robes changed and became extremely ugly, as if they had been humiliated. Below, several guards looked at each other with expressions of extreme shock. The young master actually wants to fight against the 10 purple mansions alone. Oh my god, can he really do it? There was a bright light in Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes. This kind of invincible aura was rare among the younger generation in the entire Great Zhou. She had to admit that Lin Fan was indeed very charming at this moment. Okay, you arrogant boy, today is the day you die. The black-clothed leader was also angered. His eyes were cold and filled with murderous intent. I saw several people escaping into the void and hiding themselves with the clouds, as if they had disappeared from here. This was the secret technique of their shadow guards, escaping into the void. They held scimitars in their hands, restrained their breath, showed murderous intent on their faces, and prepared to give Lin Fan a thundering blow. This is troublesome. The shadow guards are best at hiding in the environment around them. It's as if their aura disappears. They can suddenly attack at the critical moment and catch the enemy off guard. Besides, the opponent is using a combined attack technique. Even a powerful person would be very likely to be hit. The older guard below spoke, his eyes full of solemnity. Then what should the young master do? Several people showed worried expressions as they looked at the sea of clouds in the sky that was filled with murderous intent. Lin Fan sneered when he saw this. How ridiculous it was that he dared to hide in front of Chongtong. Then his eyes became extremely hot. An ray of light tore through the sky and earth and soared into the sky. In an instant, screams rang out in the air and streaks of blood mist appeared. The guards below widened their eyes in disbelief. Instantly kill 4 people in the purple mansion realm. At this moment, the black-robed leader who was hiding in the air saw this. His eyes turned red, and a great murderous intent burst out of his body. How dare you, you brat! He roared in his heart. He couldn't make a move yet and was preparing for his strongest attack. The other men in black robes broke out in cold sweats when they saw this. They had not expected that Lin Fan could see through their concealment. At this time, a man in black robe touched Lin Fan's head, holding a scimitar in his hand, ready to give him a thundering blow on the back. Seeing that he was getting closer, he rushed out from the clouds, with a piercing chill emanating from his scimitar, and went straight to kill Lin Fan. A hint of joy appeared in his eyes. The young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion was just like this. Seeing this, the people below narrowed their pupils and looked worried. Young master, be careful. Wang Yuxuan also became nervous and worried about Lin Fan. The next moment, golden blood and energy burst out from Lin Fan's body. As vast as the ocean, an extremely terrifying shadow of a creature appeared behind him. Like a dragon or an elephant, IT looked up to the sky and howled, shocking the entire world. The man with the scimitar was directly knocked back by this powerful force, spitting blood from his mouth, his eyes full of shock. What kind of skill is this? Then, before he could come to his senses, a golden fist light appeared and knocked him to death with one punch. When the remaining assassins hiding in the void saw this scene, they couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat and began to think of retreating. What kind of monster is this? Not only can it see through their disguises, but its body is also extremely strong. It can kill a purple mansion realm cultivator with just one punch. Who said this belongs to the good-for-nothing young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion? Mu Lao, who was preparing to attack in the sky, couldn't help but be shocked after seeing this. The young master is truly unfathomable. It is unheard of that his physical body can be cultivated to the point where strange phenomena can occur. Throughout the entire Great Zhou, he had never seen such an enchanting genius. It is so terrifying. With chaos double pupils and an invincible body, he will surely reach an unattainable height in the future. Seeing that the others wanted to retreat, the black-robed leader angrily shouted, "How dare you run away after being scared to death by a yellow-haired boy? Now that 5 brothers have died, what we have to do is to let this boy be buried with them. Otherwise, neither the Imperial Court nor the Moonlight Lotus Mansion will let us go." After hearing this, the other men in black robes gave up the idea. "That's right, kill him and let him be buried with our brothers." Their eyes were red, and their cultivation burst out stronger than before. It was obvious that their blood and energy were burning. Holding weapons, they rushed towards Lin Fan. When Lin Fan saw this, he sneered, "You guys are quite loyal, so I just happened to send you to reunite together." Afterwards, his eyes became blazing, and his chaos double pupils were extremely terrifying. They could create the world and also destroy everything. Suddenly, a ray of light burst out, so bright and fierce that with a bang, it shattered 2 of them into pieces, turning them into blood mist. "His eyes!" The remaining 2 shouted in panic. At this point in the battle, they also discovered that there was something wrong with Lin Fan's eyes. They turned around and tried to run, but they were no match for their opponent because the gap was too huge. The next moment, a black flame burned on their bodies, burning fiercely and directly burning through their bodies. This is the second ability of Chongtong, the 9 Netherworld Fire. At this moment, the whole audience was in an uproar. "You are the only one left." Lin Fan looked at the last person, who was also their leader. The black-robed leader's eyes were filled with fear, as if he had seen a devil. At this moment, he finally understood why Lin Fan had just said that the information was false. This is not only false, it is completely false. The 3 people in the intelligence did not take action. Instead, Lin Fan, whom they were supposed to protect, killed 9 Purple Mansion realm cultivators alone. Now, he was the only one left. Could it be that the king of Great Zhou wanted to kill them on purpose? At this moment, such a possibility appeared in his mind. Thinking of this, his face turned dark and he felt extremely embarrassed. And below, several guards were also extremely excited, feeling proud of their young master. From now on, if anyone dares to say that our young master of Moonlight Lotus Mansion is a waste, he will be slapped in the face. There was also shock in Wang Yuxuan's beautiful eyes. She didn't expect Lin Fan to be so strong. This cannot be described as genius. It is even more perverted than a monster. Even the goddess Mu Qingxue is not so terrifying. If you tell others that he is at the Purple Mansion realm at the age of 18, many people will be scared to death, not to mention that his combat power is also at an incredible level. It seems that following this bastard is not a bad thing. At this moment, this thought vaguely appeared in her mind. Seeing that he remained silent, Lin Fan also felt bored and prepared to send the last person away. The next moment, the black-robed leader burst out with his cultivation, burning his life, and flew downwards at an extremely fast speed. His hair turned white at a speed visible to the naked eye. His cultivation was already at the peak of the Purple Mansion realm, and after burning his life, he had reached the early stage of the Great Power realm. "Since I can't kill you, I will kidnap this girl and see what you will do." That's right. His target was Wang Yuxuan, and he wanted to use her life to threaten Lin Fan. When Wang Yuxuan saw the other party rushing towards her, her pretty face turned pale and her beautiful eyes were a little dazed with fear. The guards nearby wanted to intercept him, but they felt powerless facing the black-robed leader who was at the powerful level. Lin Fan sneered when he saw this scene. "Are you competing in speed? Are you competing in the secret of the character Xing?" The secret of the character Xing. The next moment, Lin Fan flew downwards, his speed increasing to an extreme, so fast that he could tear the void. Just when the black-robed leader was about to catch Wang Yuxuan, a gust of wind blew, and in an instant, Wang Yuxuan disappeared from the spot. The black-robed leader's smile froze instantly, his pupils shrank slightly, and his face was full of disbelief. What? In front of the bright moon, Lin Fan had a calm expression, dressed in a peerless white robe, holding Wang Yuxuan in his arms. The moonlight shone on his figure, making him look like a real banished immortal. When Wang Yuxuan opened her eyes, she saw that extremely handsome face, and she couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. Did he save me? No wonder I didn't feel uncomfortable just now, but felt warm and comfortable instead. Thinking of this, her face suddenly flushed. You have no other choice, prepare to die, Lin Fan said coldly, looking at the black-robed leader below. Then, a glance fell, carrying with it supreme power, as if it could tear apart the heaven and earth, and directly pierced through the black-robed leader. Why are you so fast? The black-robed leader had doubts in his eyes and died with hatred in his heart. After releasing the light of his double pupils, a look of weakness appeared on Lin Fan's face. Obviously, intensive use of Kyo's double pupils also has a certain cost. Soon, the two returned to the flying boat. In the sky, Mu Lao's pupils trembled. It turned out that having chaos double pupils was so terrifying that it could kill someone instantly across a realm. No wonder the ancients said that the appearance of Kyo's double pupil is the beginning of invincibility. It seems that the Lin family has really produced a real dragon. The graceful woman hidden in the void was also shocked by Chongtong's powerful fighting power. As expected of an ancient double pupil, this person is probably even more powerful than the geniuses in the family. Really abnormal, she thought to herself. Then, a smile appeared on her lips, making the whole world a little gloomy. This ability to flirt with women is also first-rate. Moonlight Lotus Mansion. He is worthy of being my son. He really has the qualities of a saint. Lin Zhan laughed loudly as he looked at the information sent by his subordinates. He fought against 10 purple palaces alone, and crushed them. Even when he was 18 years old, he was not so brave. At this time, Lin Yu and Lin Wentian, who were standing by, also showed a hint of doubt after hearing this. Seeing this, Lin Zhan also handed over the information in his hand. After the two saw it clearly, they showed horror on their faces. Fuck! Lin Wentian cursed out loud, his elegant face full of disbelief. Lin Yu also stroked his beard, his eyes filled with shock. One person is fighting against 10 purple palaces alone, and there is a burning life on the opposite side who has broken through to the Great Power realm. So, Chenner's true combat power is at the early stage of the Great Power realm. The talent of Kyo's double pupil is indeed terrifying. I am afraid it has surpassed all the 9th grade talents in the past and present. Even the goddess Mu Qingxue does not have such an impressive record. It seems that our Lin family has really produced a real dragon, Lin Yu praised repeatedly. Of course, but the fact that the king of Great Zhou sent the shadow guards to assassinate Chenner cannot be let go like this. Lin Zhan changed the subject, his eyes gleaming coldly. Then let's destroy the shadow guards and spread the news, letting everyone in the world know that the king of the Great Zhou sent 10 Purple Mansion realm warriors to assassinate my grandson, but was killed by my grandson instead. Let everyone in the world laugh at us. Lin Yu thought for a while and said in a deep voice, Okay, the shadow guards are the fangs of the imperial court. If they are destroyed, the imperial court will probably curse them again. Lin Wentian agreed with both hands and said with a smile, This move is cruel enough. The king of Zhou would probably be so embarrassed if he knew about it. He is shooting himself in the foot. Now it has helped my son. Lin Zhan also echoed. Amid the laughter of the three, the Great Zhou's top assassin, the Shadow Guard, had been sentenced to death. The imperial court. When King Zhou saw the information in his hand, his face turned green. How is it possible? 10 Purple Mansion realm warriors can't even handle a mere chi-refining kid. What's the point of them? He looked at the black-robed old man standing in front of him and said angrily. The old man in black robe in front of him was even more furious after hearing this, and retorted, What the hell are you talking about us? What information did you give us? You are in the Purple Mansion realm and you said it was chi training. I think you are old and confused. After hearing this, King Zhou was obviously confused. What did you say? What about refining chi to become a purple palace? Didn't the others in Tianyuan Palace deal with these 10 assassins? The old man in black robe laughed angrily. Okay, you didn't even know that Lin Fan had awakened his chaos double pupils and broke through to the Purple Mansion realm, and you asked us to kill him. You are such a talent, you deserve to lose to Lin Zhan. After hearing this, King Zhou was stunned. That idiot has awakened his chaos double pupils and reached the Purple Mansion realm? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Silly dog. The old man in black robe laughed, then shook his head in disappointment and disappeared here. Central China. This is the most powerful state in the Shentian domain and is also located at the core of the entire domain. This place is blessed with outstanding people and countless resources, which have created countless ancient forces. At the same time, it is also the state with the most geniuses and evildoers, a place that many cultivators from the Shentian realm dream of visiting. Today, the ranking list hanging high above the Tianji Pavilion was actually flashing, with a stream of light flowing there. This is an unusual phenomenon in the change of the rankings, which means that a new genius has emerged. Oh my God! There is another genius coming out. Who could this be? I think there should be some geniuses from other states who have entered the Earth ranking. After all, there are people entering the Earth ranking every day. That's hard to say. What if someone gets into the top 100 of the heavenly ranking? How is that possible? The top 100 on the current list are all familiar evil disciples. How could they change so easily? If an evil was born, it would have been born long ago. These people spoke one by one, their hearts full of curiosity. There was a flash of golden light, and the 100th place on the heavenly ranking had changed. After seeing this, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. The heavenly ranking is a ranking of the strongest geniuses in the entire Shentian domain, and the age requirement is to be under 1,000 years old. Those who enter the top 100 of the heavenly ranking are all at the level of great powers, and their talents and qualifications start from the 8th level. If your talent and strength are equally poor, it will be difficult for you to enter the heavenly ranking. This is the cruel part. I saw that Chu Xing, who was originally ranked 100th on the heavenly ranking, had become Lin Fan. Oh my God! Who on earth is this Lin Fan? He is actually a genius from Eastern Shenzhou. Look at his cultivation level. He is only in the middle stage of Purple Mansion realm. How did he make it to the list? Yes, all the Tianjiao on the heaven ranking started from the Great Power realm, but now there is a Purple Mansion realm. This is really unheard of. On the heavenly ranking, the golden light on Lin Fan's information column had not disappeared, and fonts were gradually generated. What this means is that the name just revealed is just the tip of the iceberg, and it will take some time for it to be fully healed. After a few breaths, as all the information on Lin Fan's column was displayed, everyone fell into silence. Number 100 on the heavenly ranking. Dong Shenzhou, Lin Fan. Talent and qualification. Super 9th grade. Constitution. Double pupil. Cultivation. Mid-Purple Mansion realm. Battle record. 1 person defeated 9 people in the late Purple Mansion realm and 1 person in the early Great Power realm with a crushing attitude. What the hell, what kind of monster is this? Its aptitude is actually above the 9th rank. What? Beyond the 9th rank? Does this mean surpassing the 9th rank? Double pupils? Could it be the Chaos Double Pupil Sin the legend? Oh my God. Look at this record. It's really outrageous. After everyone saw it clearly, their pupils shrank slightly and they spoke in great shock. Soon, the talent beyond the 9th rank attracted more and more people to watch, including many geniuses on the heaven ranking and earth ranking. Beyond the 9th rank? Could the Tianji Pavilion have made a mistake? How could someone's talent and aptitude surpass the 9th rank, even for this so-called double pupil? Below, a man in a battle robe spoke. He had a resolute face, a body as strong as Mount Tai, an extremely powerful aura, and a golden halberd on his back. Some people recognized this person and exclaimed in surprise, "Oh my God, isn't this you Russian who is ranked 61st on the heavenly ranking?" He actually raised doubts. Under the leadership of you Russian, more and more people followed suit. That's right. How could there be someone with talent beyond the 9th rank? Looking back at the past of Shentian territory, there has never been anyone with talent beyond the 9th rank. Did the Tianji Pavilion make a mistake? At this moment, in the Tianji Pavilion, an old man with an immortal look flew out and stood in the void. His eyes were deep and the aura he exuded was extremely powerful, and the pressure made everyone feel breathless. After seeing the head of Tianji Pavilion come out, everyone fell silent. Are you questioning me? Or are you questioning the Tianji Pavilion? Or are you questioning this immortal artifact, the Tianji Mirror? Bai Wudao asked as soon as he came out, with some anger in his eyes. After hearing this, no one dared to answer. They could see that Bai Wudao was rarely angry now. Russian was silent. It was difficult for a junior like him to answer these three questions. Lin Fan's qualifications are fine. His chaos double pupils are beyond the 9th rank. If those on the heaven ranking and earth ranking, are dissatisfied, you can go to East Shenzhou to compete with him. Of course, I'm not saying it's not now unless one of you wants to bully the weak. He is only in the Purple Mansion realm now, and it's hard to tell how deep he is. Bai Wudao continued, his eyes slightly narrowed, as if in a warning. After hearing this, everyone quickly reacted and said, "We know." Even Russian, who had been quite arrogant just now, was like this. Silver Moon Mountains. As one of the 36 mountain ranges in the Great 30, this mountain range is remote, sparsely populated, and full of wild beasts. However, it is a rare holy place for cultivation. He is also well known locally, and geniuses from nearby areas often come here to hunt monsters or seek opportunities. Red Flame Dragon Claw. A sound was heard not far away, and a figure came out. He turned his palms into claws and clawed at a giant green snake in front of him. In an instant, red flames erupted, as if turning into a huge dragon claw, so hot that it directly tore the demon beast at the peak of the Spirit Sea realm into pieces. In an instant, the monster was torn into pieces. Blood and flesh flew everywhere, with a smell of roasted meat. The flames on the red figure gradually disappeared, revealing a handsome young man, Mu Lingyun. Almost a month had passed. During this month, Mu Lingyun came to the Silver Moon Mountains and swallowed a precious medicine that had been buried for a long time. Not only did it restore his tendons and veins, but he also turned a disaster into a blessing and subdued a strange fire. It directly raised his qualifications from the 6th grade to the 7th grade. That's right, the martial art he practiced was called the burning technique, which could enhance his physical qualities by absorbing strange fire, which was truly incredible. Lin Fan, you'd better not do anything to my master and Yuxian. Otherwise, when I come to your house, I will kill your entire family and torture you with thousands of fires, leaving you with neither death nor life. When Mu Lingyun thought of his master and the woman being captured by Lin Fan, he became angry and wanted to go to Moonlight Lotus Mansion immediately to kill him. 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. And you, the Wang family, actually treat me as a joke. Wait for me. After I deal with Lin Fan, I will deal with you. Mu Lingyun seemed to have thought of something and spoke viciously, his eyes filled with anger. The most urgent thing is to go to Tianyuan Academy. After all, the second half of the burning decree that Master mentioned is there. If I can obtain the second half of the burning decree and break through to the 9th rank, I will not be afraid of any genius in the world. When the time comes, Lin Fan, see if I can snatch Mu Qingxue away from you, so that you can enjoy the feeling of having your wife taken away by someone else. And you, Mu Qingxue, I helped you so much that day, but you were so heartless. If I get you in the future, I will definitely humiliate you severely and treat you as a plaything. Mu Lingyun thought to himself, and then let out an evil laugh. Tianyuan Academy, here I come. The other side. On the flying boat, Lin Fan sneezed, and a look of surprise appeared on his handsome face. Who is missing me? Could it be my good leek Mu Lingyun? Thinking of this, a hint of amusement appeared in Lin Fan's eyes. Presumably, Mu Lingyun has now recovered his cultivation and gained new opportunities. Maybe he is still on his way to Tianyuan Academy. Of course he knew why Mu Lingyun went to Tianyuan Academy. Wasn't it just to get the second half of the burning technique? But will I let you succeed so easily? What's more, it seems that your master is hiding something from you. The purpose of Lin Fan's trip to Tianyuan Academy this time was not so simple. He learned that there was a good fortune in the Tongtian Tower, which contained not only the second half of the burning decree, but also something called the Tianyuan spiritual steel. This thing has a great origin. Everyone thinks that Tianyuan Academy was founded by Confucius, but it is not. Tianyuan Academy existed before ancient times. At that time, Tianyuan Academy was extremely prosperous and was a superpower in East Shenzhou. However, it seemed to have experienced a catastrophe and has been heard from since then. It was also at that time that Eastern Shenzhou gradually began to decline. Of course, in this era, very few people know this, and he learned it from Hong Tian's memory. According to legend, after the disappearance of Tianyuan Academy, it seemed that two inheritances were left behind. The core inheritance was those on the Tianyuan spiritual steel, and the other less important inheritance was probably obtained by Confucius. The fact that Confucius has been able to cultivate to this level today must be inseparable from the inherited skills, so it is natural for him to take on the responsibility of reviving Tianyuan Academy, while also looking for the core inheritance left by Tianyuan Academy, the Tianyuan spiritual steel. That was the key to the strength and prosperity of Tianyuan Academy several epochs ago. However, he would never have guessed in his lifetime that the Tianyuan spiritual steel was on the 80th floor of the Tower of Babel. Thinking of this, a smile appeared on Lin Fan's lips. Confucius once said that whoever can get the Tianyuan spiritual steel will be respected by the entire Tianyuan Academy and will obey his orders. Wouldn't that be gaining a saint-level power for nothing? Fortunately, I knew all this in advance, and Hong Tian only told Mu Lingyun that the second half of the burning decree was in the Tongtian Tower, and he did not say that the Tianyuan spiritual steel was also in the Tongtian Tower. It seems that Hong Tian also has some selfish motives. Ding! Are you signing in today? Soon. A cold system voice sounded. Lin Fan looked out the window. It was pitch black. It was obviously midnight, which meant a new day. Lin Fan was a little dazed. How could time pass so quickly? Sign in. Ding! Reward. God-level technique. Yin-yang dual cultivation technique. Soon. A profound and incomprehensible memory came into Lin Fan's mind. After Lin Fan accepted it, there was some inexplicable meaning in his eyes. This is an ordinary dual cultivation method. Ordinary dual cultivation methods can only nourish one side and deplete the other side. But this yin and yang dual cultivation technique can make both sides stronger at the same time, with yin and yang complementing each other. At this moment, when Lin Fan saw the images in his mind, he felt a little hot in his heart. He could calm down, but there was no need to. After all, when it came to lust, it was better to follow one's heart. Boom boom. There was a knock on the door. Enter. Master, are you okay? Wang Yuxuan asked worriedly after coming in. After all, she saw Lin Fan's face turn pale after killing someone in order to save her today. She was very worried, and at the same time she felt deeply moved. If it were someone else, they might not have saved an insignificant slave like himself. Something happened. Lin Fan pretended to be pale and said, lying on the bed. When Wang Yuxuan saw this, she also hurried over, with a guilty look on her face. What should I do, master? It's all my fault. She was wearing a black and white maid outfit today, with cat ears on her head. Her short hair made her look very pure and cute, and under the hem of her skirt were black stockings that were delicate and reflective. This outfit is very contrasting, and when people see it, they can't help but sigh that she is a beauty. Lin Fan called her to his ear and whispered a few words into her ear. After saying this, Wang Yuxuan's face turned red and she looked a little at a loss. Is that really the only way you can be fine? That's right, otherwise I might never get well in my life. Lin Fan sighed helplessly. After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan hesitated for a while, thinking that the other party was injured because of her. If she did not agree, wouldn't it be heartless and ungrateful? Okay, I promise you, Wang Yuxuan said in a low voice, her face as red as a ripe apple. This will also help you. Maybe after this you will be able to break through from the early stage of the spiritual sea to the middle stage of the spiritual sea. Lin Fan said seriously, and then transmitted the skills in his mind. Wang Yuxuan was moved by the memories in her mind and her face turned even redder. Then, the candlelight went out, and a great battle was about to begin. The next day, Lin Fan woke up early, and the beautiful figure beside him had already disappeared. Lin Fan didn't think much about it. After carefully sensing the changes in his body, his eyes flashed and his face looked a little shocked. It is worthy of being a god-level skill. The effect is truly incredible. And now the benefits are also reflected. Lin Fan's cultivation has directly increased from the middle stage of Purple Mansion to the late stage of Purple Mansion, and he is not far from the peak. He also took away Wang Yuxuan's Yuan Yin. Wang Yuxuan is a natural spiritual body, and the Yuan Yin in her body is of great benefit to her cultivation. For example, functions such as improved comprehension and faster cultivation. At this time, the sound of footsteps was heard. "Master, are you awake?" Wang Yuxuan said with some surprise, holding a bowl of lotus porridge in her hand, her innocent face carrying a hint of maturity. Obviously, the girl is no longer a girl. Lin Fan's eyes were somewhat tender, and after feeling Wang Yuxuan's breath, he nodded secretly. "Yes, I have reached the middle stage of the spiritual sea." After hearing this, Wang Yuxuan's fair face blushed, as if she had thought of something. "That's all thanks to the master." Lin Fan laughed a little, but he didn't think of going that place. Wang Yuxuan looked hesitant, as if she wanted to say something to Lin Fan. When Lin Fan saw this, he raised his eyebrows and asked, "What's the matter? Is there anything you want to say?" "Well, master, is your illness healed? If not, do you need to continue the treatment for a few more days?" Wang Yuxuan said with some concern, and at the same time she felt a little eager in her heart, but she did not show it. Lin Fan was a little stunned after hearing this. He didn't expect that she actually believed it. Lin Fan thought for a while and coughed a few times. "It seems to have gotten better recently. If it continues like this in the future, I will let you know." "Okay. If the master gets sick, you must tell me," Wang Yuxuan said seriously, feeling an inexplicable joy in her heart. "Oh, by the way, this 3-flower lotus will be very helpful to your physique. Take it." Lin Fan suddenly thought of something and spoke. Then, a 3-colored lotus emitting divine light flew in front of Wang Yuxuan. When Wang Yuxuan saw this scene, her beautiful eyes lit up with surprise. She put it away silently, and secretly vowed to herself that she would serve her master well in the future. Seeing Wang Yuxuan's loving eyes, Lin Fan subconsciously touched his kidney. Tianyuan Academy. At this moment, the academy was crowded with people, and countless young geniuses gathered here. Some of them wore gorgeous robes and were from royal families, while others wore linen clothes and were from commoner families. But without exception, they were all the most qualified and favored sons of heaven in the entire Great Zhou. "Is this the Tianyuan Academy, the #1 school in the Great Zhou Dynasty? It's really impressive." "That's right. The spiritual energy here feels much richer than other places. If I can practice here in the future, my cultivation will definitely improve by leaps and bounds." Yes, it is thanks to Confucius that he founded this academy, which gave poor students like me a chance to succeed. "I don't know when the assessment will start." These boys and girls spoke one by one, their eyes full of longing for Tianyuan Academy. Soon, the gate of the academy opened wide and a figure flew out. He was an elder in the academy, dressed in a white robe, with an ethereal air and powerful cultivation. The aura he exuded was enough to change the faces of those present. This kind of pressure can definitely only be exerted by a powerful person. "My name is Yi Qingfeng. You can call me Oldie. I am the elder presiding over your assessment this time," Yi Qingfeng said, his voice like a loud bell, resounding throughout the world. When everyone saw such a powerful elder come out to preside over the meeting, they became more and more eager to see him. Even the presiding elder has such powerful cultivation. It is worthy of being the #1 academy in the Great Zhou. This assessment is divided into 2 parts. The first part is to test your talent. Touch your hands on this qualification tablet and your qualifications will be displayed on it. Anyone who has passed the 4th grade qualification will be considered to have passed the assessment and can participate in the second test. Of course, if you fail, Tianyuan Academy can only tell you that you have no chance to enter. You don't have to participate in the assessment again in the future, because there is no need at all. Yi Qingfeng said slowly, and then pointed to a huge stone tablet inside the academy. After hearing this, everyone nodded. Obviously, they had already understood it before coming. But despite this, some people felt uneasy after hearing it. In the Shantian domain, the majority of people have qualifications below the 3rd grade. Only those with qualifications above the 3rd grade can be called geniuses. As for those above the 3rd grade, the gap between each grade is huge, which eliminates more people. This is the cruelty of this world. The second test is to defend the ring. There are a total of 100 rings. Within 3 hours, 5,000 of you will fight for these 100 rings. Whoever can successfully defend the ring will pass the test. Yi Qingfeng continued, his eyes sweeping down. The longer you defend the ring, the higher your score will be. The higher the score, the easier it is for you to be noticed by the elders in the academy, and you may even have the chance to become the dean's disciple. Sure enough, as soon as these words were spoken, everyone became excited and their eyes were filled with excitement. If I actually have the chance to become a disciple of a saint, wouldn't that be a step to heaven? I will never have to worry about resources in the future, and there will also be a saint who can teach me. Of course, there are also people who think that this is simply an impossible thing. After all, he is a saint, and no one has ever heard of him accepting disciples before. It may just be a cover. I have never heard of Confucius recruiting disciples before. Could it be that Master Yi is deceiving us? Someone questioned.